This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua.
Rolling down 109 in a truck. On my ride up to the light, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. His palace mobbing tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs. The level where funds gets tragic and lavish is none. With rebels, they runs and rabbits like savages' sons. With did him and bigger and swiftly he shined the mug. That city a pity with 50 took 9 of them slugs. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yashua.
rolling down 109 in a truck. On my ride up to the light, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. His palace mobbing tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the
I've been swimming in this ghetto life. I've been living in these
2005.
ghetto streets.
Yo, him, the Joey Mecca. Yo, this one's personal to me right here. This shit is the truth. Hip-hop needs some real truth right now. You feel me? I really seriously think hip-hop needs me right now. All these clown rappers, all this make-believe, y'all ride with me. I took 2 texts when I'm in irony of the street. Then go beat Lex and tell him why I'm in all this heat. It seems to be a thing that we born within this ghetto. A hot jump shot, a book of rhymes, all this metal. It's a defeatist attitude developed in high school. While those with stable homes look on like they the wounds. So brothers be like, fuck it, that's the motto of the hood. Well, y'all apply to college, our projects is where it's wood. I'm living in this trap, only fact I got my gap. Now I'm all strapped up, and little Chuck got it tucked. And reload these, spitting that breeze over weeds. And reload knees, shooting at leaves, toking trees. I violate beer, I drink up on it like it's water. My mind ain't clear, I'm working on it cause my daughter. My life ain't fair, my mama left when I was 1. She's out in Bed-Stuy, I'm on the island in the slums. It ain't my fault, society made me to a thug. In the 90s is grimy, 2000s is blooded up. And low crip too, it's cause of family that is blue. And no blood red, so many dead that is sad. The funeral homes is lost and plenty orphans flipping coffins. While Drug Man Dan is at the orphanage giving orphans. And y'all blame us, while Judge Benson's giving the sentence. Out there ain't us, we in the system getting fenced in. And y'all blame us.
I'm swimming in this ghetto life. And I'm living in these ghetto streets. The system got me living metal life. And you pop me when I can't dream. There's gotta be a better way to live. There's gotta be a better way to be. Now I gotta be a friend tonight. Gotta be the one to make you
Y'all close your eyes and vision drastic being stabbed. Imagine Joe hanging in the back of Linden Ave. Imagine Wild Man up in heaven having a fight. And Shaheem the God is telling court to keep it light. Imagine True Indeed and J Thug is alright. Dressing in all red up in heaven blood tight. News demo and country so much time it ain't hype. And 15-year-old Scully getting 25 to life. This is my life, my cousin Chase is Brooklyn's ace. Be up on gates with 38s in the skates. And all my life my cousin Wise sticking guys. All on the heights with 45s on his sides. It's sorta incredible the way I thought pattern does. It's sorta regrettable the way the courts batter us. So brothers be like, fuck it, that's the motto of the hood. While y'all excel in college, our job six is where it's wood. My father, he bailed, my mama left when I was a baby. I turned God body when I was 12, that's what saved me. By age 14, I bought my first whip machine. Trues and dollar bills, my new Impala wheels. And oh my God, I was that beast at making sales. And oh Rashawn, I runs these streets like frickin' jails. I'm from Hempstead, what the fuck you can't tell? It's down the street from death and round the corner from hell. But y'all can't tell.
Now I'm swimming in this ghetto life. And I'm living in these ghetto streets. The system got me living metal life. And you pop me when I can't dream.
Sorry guys, can't give you the whole song yet. Album coming soon, singles coming soon. Sorry, you just can get a teaser, guys. Alright, love is love. Love y'all. Sorry guys, can't give you the whole song yet. Album coming soon, singles coming soon. What's good, everybody? All right. Let me see. Volume is pretty cool right now, right here. What's good, 25 to Life? Uncle Yashua, 25 to Life Testimony TV family. Who that over on Facebook? Shout out to Daddy You Unique over there on Facebook. So that means I'm live on Facebook. I wasn't sure if it went live over there. All right, we're going to get started. Let's get started. All right, so that song was my song made with me and Jody Mecca from Harlem right before I got a 15 to Life. And then next I got a 25 to Life bid. My whole life changed. So in that song, I was expressing some of the realities of my life from the hood, coming from the hood. And how society blames us for everything when some things that happen are because of societal and environmental aspects being placed in certain situations, right? It's like when I was going to prison for 25 to Life, I was preparing myself mentally for this new environment. What I mean by that is I was preparing myself to be an animal, because in that environment, I would have to think like an animal, act like an animal, and react like an animal, because it's a bunch of animals living in that environment. And it's about the what do they call that? The greatest survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest. So the song called Ghetto Life, but y'all blame us. It's because you really can't blame a person thrown into a pit of lions and he turns into a savage to survive that environment. It's like a country taking its citizens and drafting them into a system and then sending them over to a country that they have never been. So you're sending 18-year-old, 20-year-old child, equip them with some training, and then send them into a country to kill or be killed. But later, surprise, when they come back damaged, when they come back with post-traumatic stress disorder, when they come back killers, it's because of the environment that you put them in. So environment does play a factor in what happens to the so-called in the hoods, in the ghettos around the world. It's not just us, but I'm speaking on behalf of us because we are at the bottom of every society in the world. And that's biblical. The scripture said there will be a people that will be placed at the bottom of every society in existence in the four corners of the planet Earth. There's a group of people and they have a history. It's in that book. And that's why this channel is not to glorify the street life. It's not to glorify the life that I lived during the crack era. Not to glorify that I went from the projects in the crack era to become a millionaire, multimillionaire, and own houses and nightclubs and barbershops and clothing stores and real estate and a real estate investment company employing families. It's It's to shine the light that a lot of people are succumbed to the environment. That's why they created the projects. That's why on our channel we got a video called From Something to Iggers. And it's about the project experiment that they experimented with rats and put them in this housing thing to see and what the environment did to the rats. And it annihilated the rats to extermination. So they exterminated one another. And so they said, bingo, we'll take these black people and put them in the same situations. And they build ghettos and projects and the environment, and they push alcohol, drugs, listen clearly, drugs, religion, you heard? Religion, and poverty, degradation, lack, and the drugs was cocaine, heroin, crack, marijuana, and now you got all type of synthetics and variations and pills. This is society, environmentalism effect on a people and destroying that people. And there's no people that would survive this unblemished. But there's a very strong group of people on this planet Earth that has survived every type of genocidal extermination placed on them from Babylon, from Egypt and Pharaoh and them, from Persia and Titus and them, from Assyria, from Acadia, from Phoenicia, from all of it to modern times. From the Europe, the Dark Ages, Britain, the Jacobites. This channel and this story tonight is about a child who grew up in this environment and was placed in this environment, whose mom and his dad both abandoned him. And he was left with the environment to raise him. Y'all hear me? The projects. And the child, which was me, looked at the projects, his environment, as his mother and father. I raised myself knowing that no matter what, my streets is what I called it. My streets will feed me. My streets will clothe me, and my streets will shelter me. But my streets will also take my life. There is no peace, shalom, in that situation. There is no peace. There's survival. Survival. And then it comes down to survival of the fittest. All right. So with that, that was just the song. But y'all blame us. All right. Let's get started. All right. Shalom, everybody worldwide. Shout out to Justo, HNIC in the building. Shout out to Unique in the building. Zayala, Ya. He said he emailed me. I'll check it out after the show tonight, Young King. And I'll hit you back. Shout out to Drizzy in the building. Shout out to, I'm scrolling up a little, guys. I don't want to miss nobody. Shout out to Phyllis Richards in the building. Shout out to Yoshiyahu in the building. Shout out to Ahanaya in the building. Yahakanan, everybody. Mashiach Asimi, Yanak, Atlanta, Yawaya, Abraya. I'm sorry, it's too many of y'all to really name. Lara Ya, Wayat. All right. Sorry if I missed somebody. Pardon me. All right, let's get started. Let's get started with the story. All right. Now, tonight's story, the thumbnail. Let me grab my thumbnail. I was supposed to grab my pictures, but I'll do that in a second. Let me grab my thumbnail. I'm going to try to do that while I'm talking. So go to here. go back. My thumbnail should be right there. That's the small one. It's this one. That's the big one. Let me let this, and then come here. Let me make this. I don't need to make it smaller. Go to present. Present. I put stop screen. Why is it saying stop? Oh, because I'm already sharing something. All right, that's why. Stop sharing. Okay, thank you. I was like, why is it saying stop? Present, share screen. There we go. Share screen, and then go to window, and here, share. Let me come back to y'all. Then let me make me the side by side. Oh, that's not side by side. Where is my new? I need to make that this one. That I'm lost. This one. No. No, that one. There we go. That one. All right, that's gonna be my new setup. So now I need to make that a little bigger so that okay, give me 1 second, guys. We're gonna get started. So that's looking a little bigger. Okay, let me see if I can make it even bigger. Oh, yeah, because I could just make it full screen. Hold on. Bang. Oh, sorry. That made it full screen. Well, I can't even see y'all. That's interesting. Why does it look like that now? All right. Sorry, guys. I'm having to try to figure out this setup really quick. Okay, why does it look like that? Okay, so if I make it big, and then when I made it full screen, it just took up. Oh, let's try this. Make this smaller. All right, let's try this. Make that smaller. Bang. Close this. That's taking up bandwidth for no reason. Yes, leave. Okay, now grab this. Close that for now. Grab that. And then make it full screen. Oh, it's going to take up my whole screen if I do that. All right. What's that tab? 101. Let's try it. Yeah, it's taking up my full screen. All right, so I can't do that. All right, so I just got to do it like this. Why is it getting smaller? I don't know. Whatever, man. All right, best I can. All right, so let's get started. Now, tonight's story, it continues, guys, where the story from last week with Buck, right? The cop, the super cop Buck, all right? So now, the title, the thumbnail says, ISP is after me, the crack era. Now, ISP is the Intensive Supervision Program of New York City. The title is called ISP is after me, the crack era. New NYPD Intense Supervision Program is on my AZZ. Now, the timing of this aligns with the story of Buck. When I, in the LL Cool J story, where we had the record deal, and then I went out and on my block that I was running at that time in '92, and then I got knocked, and then I went into the jail system, prison system, the justice system, and they was trying to give me a 2 to 6 state bid, and then another story I tell how I end up getting time served, which was about a year and something, plus 5 years intensive supervision, probation. Now, this intensive supervision system, I didn't know nothing about that. All right, I was trying to get a 1.5 to 3. I said 1 to 3 last week, but that's a second felony sentence. It was a 1.5 to 3rd upstate in prison. I was trying to get my 2 to 6 reduced to a 1.5 to 3rd, but Judge Maxton listened to my plea, and gave me a chance. And he said he's going to give me a chance, and he put me in intensive supervision, probation. Now, the name intensive supervision, later I found out that it was a program that was designed for the worst of the worst, for It was designed for the worst who would get a break from the judge. The judge would, if a judge had a good day or a good heart, and he wanted to give what some term the worst of the worst a break, he would give them ISP, intensive supervision. If he's instead of sending them up for their sentence, right? Or give them, or let's say he could give them whatever county county bullet or whatever, 18 months or something or whatever, and with 5 or 10 years intensive supervision probation. Now, the intensive supervision system was like the shock system in the prison, up in prison, New York State prison. It's an intensely magnified system, okay? Whereas they have the rights to violate you. And it's like, I didn't know it until I was in it. It's like you're the worst of the worst. And so they look at you that way. So they treat you like you're a piece of crap. You don't belong in society anyway, right? The officers in this program, they treat you like it's like they look at you like you slipped through. They look at you like you slipped through a crack, but we the one that's going to seal that crack. So they're not, like probation and stuff, they're already nasty. I'm just sorry, right? Shout out to any of the good probation officers out there or any parole officers that's good. Shout out to y'all, right? But I know most people who've been in that system ain't find too many good ones. I'm quite sure there has to be some good ones though, right? It's gonna be good and bad and everything. But that system is designed that you are a piece of crap, and they kind of are looking to get you locked back up. It's like they got it against you. It's like they got a thing against you, and you don't even know them. You know what I mean? You know that type of stuff where it's like, bro, I don't even know you. Like, I ain't do nothing to you. You act like I robbed your house or something. Like, why you got a personal thing against me? And it's because, I don't know, they feel themselves, right? So this intensive supervision program was, it was disgusting. So let me walk this down. So last week, when I told the story of Buck, I told the story because I'm gonna jump around. These are all tied in together. After last week, when I ran from Buck and ran through the woods and hid in the crackhead's house, and the roaches was all over me. For those who ain't see it, go to our channel, click on the last live, the story of Buck. And the roaches were all over me, that story. After I finished that, I said, okay, I can't wear all black anymore, right? I have to put on regular clothes and go out there, but I still had to go out because I had to survive, right? Environment. I don't know no better. I don't have access to resources. I don't have family. I don't have, a mom and dad to look after me and stuff. I'm on my own. Otherwise I'll be homeless on the street, right? So I had to re-engineer the game. So that's when I started hanging out a lot with Jamel Henderson, LL. Not LL Cool J, but Jamel Henderson. We used to call him LL, Jamel. His name is Game 7 now, from the beginning of this channel, L, those stories. So we was hanging at L house, and we started rapping again. I started rapping again, and because L was rapping. L was one of the nicest rappers in the world. All right, and he started rapping, and we started the Nasty Four again. But shout out to Hoshaya in the building. But I had to redo my game. Right now, what y'all don't know is they put me on intensive supervision program, and I came home to my hoopties because my Mercedes. So most of y'all who watched the channel for the last uh these last lives, y'all remember the one about my grandmother. And a lot of the stories on the channel, I talked about my 500 SEL Mercedes, the silver one. Okay. So when I was incarcerated, um the 500 Mercedes was parked at Unique House. Daddy U, who's here, he's here right now. So all these stories are true, and the people who were there living it, they be here in the comments or on Facebook and stuff. So new people, this stuff is it's just we just this is my autobiography of my book. I'm just writing it orally right now. All right. So now, so the the silver Mercedes, I'm looking for, okay, I'm looking for something else that I got to show in a minute. Go to my upbringing, that one. The silver Mercedes that I told in all the stories, it was parked at Unique's house because I had let this Hispanic dude work on my car. All right. So on South Franklin Street, there was this Hispanic family dude. He opened up this shop. And a news flash to those who got very, very expensive foreign cars. Don't just let anybody work on it. All right. I know some of y'all are probably like, Dag, Unc, you should you should have known that. Yeah, I should have known that. Right. But it just is what it is. That's what happened. Right. So where's my tab? Why I can't find my oh, it's probably in this one. Hold on. All right. So this Hispanic guy, right? He's up on our block and everything. And so I went and I like I don't mind taking my car just to get an oil change because I watched them when they put it up on the lift, right? So, I'm up and back and forth on the block, and my big Benz needed an oil change. So I took it to him, and him and his wife, they always talk about how beautiful the car is, the 500 SEL and all that, right? And it's all good, you know what I mean? They seem like, pretty good people and everything. So one time I had let my car, I had met this girl in Queens, um, Jack Mack. Shout out to Ray Jacobs from Martin Luther King Drive. Ray had this girl in Queens, and this girl wanted me to kick it to her, and from White Castle parking lot. Y'all gonna learn that story later, and some of those stories later. So I met this girl in Queens, and we used to be in the car in the big Benz, just chilling. And one time we was in the car for like 20 hours. Like we was just parked on by up the street from her house or her mom's, you know what I mean? And we just chilling in the car. The big Benz is like a living room. You know what I mean? All the wood grain, the seats. So we chilling. I think we even smashed in the car or whatever, but we was chilling. You know what I mean? Just talking and I let the car run the whole time, the engine. Like I had the car idling the whole time. Now I'm young, right? I got a big 500 SEL Mercedes. I don't know that I ain't supposed to idle this car for 20 hours straight and just let it run. I don't know that's a bad thing to do because it was wintertime, right? So in New York in the wintertime, it's freezing. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to find my folder. I can't see why. Where's my stuff at, bro? Because I got another picture I need to show later. And I'm like, where's my pictures at, bro? It's supposed to be in my file that says my life and why is nothing in there? Like, what is going on? I'm getting spiritual attacks or something? It's not in Hempstead history. That's Hempstead history. It's supposed to be in my life pics and or my upbringing, and nothing's there, bro. All right. So anyway, so I let me check again. Wow, they are there. See, these are these attacks I'm talking about. I was just in this thing. I was in this file a second ago. I'm glad. Thank you, Father, for letting me know to go back to the file. You just being attacked. All right. So Let me stop share. Let me let me I got all these windows open. Let me go here. I got to do this correctly. Present, share screen, window. Where's she at? There, share. I'm gonna just do this one because I can make it bigger and I got it. So this car right here, this Mercedes right there. All right, I like that picture. But mine was silver. All right. So this big Benz. So me and Jack, we sitting in this car and it's just idling, running. You know what I mean? Of course, I got my guns because she live in Queens. So I'm on a block. We had a couple of people step up. For real. You had a couple of dudes come down. I step out like, you know what I mean? I step out like, yo, what's good? But then Jackie knew them. She like, Kayshawn, boy, get away from this car. This is me in this car. He like, all right, Jack, I don't know who you got on the block. I'm like, don't worry about it. You heard? You know what I mean? I'm like, so anyway, this was the life I was living back then. I'm not promoting none of that. This was my trauma. Okay, this stuff got me 25 to life in jail, that mentality. But anyway, just giving some details to the story. So me and Jack in this car, and we let it idle for, we was there for like 19 hours. Like literally, we spent the whole day in the car. Like, and then, we drove. Like, so we spent, and then it got daylight. We went and got some breakfast, came back, parked on a block, still in the car just still idling. So now, after I dropped her off and I went back home, the next day I got up, I go outside, I start my Benz, and it's like, it turns on, but then the engine goes, and then it smooths out, and it's smooth, and then, and then the engine shakes, right? I'm like, now, this my Benzo, right? I'm like, this $100,000 car. I'm like, this stuff, it didn't cost me 100 G's, but that's the value of this, 50,000, 70, whatever. It's a very expensive car, right? So my car's smooth. It's butter. You know what I mean? This thing is German engineering. It's a real Benzo. It's the 500 SEL. So this thing, like, I'm like, what is that? So I'm sitting there and it's smooth, and it's, it started puttering, like the engine started. So I'm like, oh man, okay. So then I go and I'm like, all right, I need to find out what's wrong with my Benz. So then I'm in Hempstead, and I'm up there and I see the Hispanic dude, Poppy, his shop is open. So for those from Hempstead, it was this big, it's probably still there. It was a big mechanic shop. It was across from Grove Street Apartments on South Franklin. That big over there across from the end of Grove Street Apartments though. It was big and it was light blue at one time. It's a big mechanic shop. So this Puerto Rican dude had bought it this time. So I pulled in there. So he like, hey, what's up, Papa? So I'm like, Papi, man, my Benz, it's doing some shaking, right? So he's like, oh, let me see, because he always was talking about the car, right? He loved the car, right? When I go get my little oil change, that's all I'll let him do, right? And here I am, I don't know why I'm doing this. So note to everybody, don't just take your car to anybody. I should have known better anyway. So he like, oh, so he looking at the car, and he like, oh, this engine, and all the stuff about the car, right? So he like, oh, I know what it is, Papa. I know what it is. So I'm like, oh, okay. You can fix it? He said, yeah, I can fix it. We just need to, you need to do this, to tune up and stuff, this, whatever, something, whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he like, all right. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to bring the car back, right? I'm like, how long is it going to take you? He's like, it's going to take me a couple of hours. You got to leave the car. So I said, all right, I'm going to go and I'm going to get my girl to drop me off, and then I'll leave you the car. So I did that. I left him the car. So then I come back and my car, I come back and parts is all over the shop. Like I come back and my car looked like he done took my engine out. Poppy looked like he done took the Benz apart. I come back and there's parts everywhere. I'm looking around like, I know this ain't parts from my Benz. I come back, I'm like, yo, Poppy, what you doing? Oh, I ran into a problem, Poppy. I ran into a problem. This German engineer. You didn't tell me this was all German, European. Even the writing is in Europe. It's in German. I know, not even English. I'm like, yeah, Poppy, what? You ain't tell me that you ain't know what you was doing. He like, oh, no. I know. Unique said, I remember that, King. He said, oh, no. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, Poppy, you got my car apart, bro. I mean, you literally got my whole engine out my car. What you doing, bro? Oh, yeah, I have to. So he like, okay, just come back. Right? So all right, Poppy, man. All right, get it together, Poppy. Like that's my baby. So I leave and we come back later. And my car is still apart. So I get there, I'm like, yo, Poppy, what's good? Oh, no. There's no finish today. Poppy. I got to order parts. And the parts, they got to come from Germany. They got parts that's from Europe. Shout out to Q Dog in the building. Parts are from Europe and parts of this. And I'm like, yeah, he playing Operation with the Benz. So I'm like, Unique said if the people could see your face back there. Yeah, I think Unique, you was with me when we went to the shop, right? I wanted to kill Poppy too. I'm like, so he like, we got to order parts from Europe. We got to get this and we got to get that. I'm like, yo, Poppy, man, you ain't say all this, man. You said come back in like 2-3 hours it'll be done. Oh, but no, I don't know. It's this and it's that and I got to get this. So I'm like, all right, man, how long? Oh, I don't know. They're going to take a week. A week? I'm like, yo, what are you talking about, Poppy? Like, I'm sorry. That's all I can do. I got to wait for the parts. I mean, you want me to put it all together I'm like, no, man, so he ordered the parts. So now we going through there a day. We drive through. I come through. We drive through. We stop in the spot. Like, yo, Poppy, what's up with the car? Oh, they say the part will be here tomorrow, right? Every day it's a new story. So finally, about a week and a half, 2 weeks later, I go through. Poppy like, the part is here. It's here. I'm like, all right, Poppy, you got my part? Yes. So all right, put my car together. All right, I got you. So he starts to work on the car and he put all the stuff together. I come back. He said, come back. I come back. All the stuff is off the ground, right? I'm like, okay. Looking like he done put my car back together, but he can't get it started. And I'm like, hey, Poppy, you put it all together. Everything looked normal. He looked like it's everything right, but he can't get it to start. So I'm like, yo, Poppy, man, this is a Mercedes, bro. This is the Benzo. Like, what are you doing? He like, I'm going to get it. I'll get it. He couldn't get it to start. Come back the whole day. It come back at the end of the day. I can't get it to start. All right. We come back. I come back the next day. Come on, Poppy. I'm fresh. I'm fresh today. We're going to get this Mercedes. It no beat me. I beat the Mercedes. It no beat me, right? I'm like, all right, Poppy. Yeah, you need me to cheer you on, And his wife is like, he'll fix it. He'll fix it. They were a nice family. They were nice, though. His wife is like, he'll fix it. He'll fix it. Like she believe in her husband. Good job. I'm like, okay, good. We're going to egg him. We're going to cheer him on, right? So he working day, another day. I'm like, Poppy, you can't fix it? I can fix it, Poppy. Give me one more chance. I'm like, all right, one more chance. He said, you come back tomorrow, I fix it. If I don't fix it, I give you all your money back. Okay? You believe in me? You trust in me? I fix it. I'm like, okay, Papa. All right. So we leave. Unique remember this. Daddy, you remember this. Unique was with me this whole time. So we leave. This one was a crew. So come back the next day. I pull up to the shop. The hood is down. And the car is sitting outside. I'm like, okay. Pull up. Now, the Benz is crazy. It's this car, this one on the screen, but I put the spoiler kit on it. Now, you tint out the windows, you put a spoiler kit. And back then, there was a car called the Nissan Maxima, y'all heard, but this is the 80s. This is the crack era, the early 90s, 80s. There was a a 87 Nissan Maxima. It was square. So back then you had Volkswagen Jettas, you had the square Nissan Maxima, you had the square Volvo, you had the circular Saab 900 S Turbo, you had the big Benz, you had the Beamers, the 7 and the 635s. These are the classic cars from the 80s and the early 90s, the crack era, the ballers, right? That's what we was balling in. So the Maxima, the square Nissan Maxima, everybody know, y'all Google the 80s. I know it look ugly now, but we made our cars look crack back then. Anybody know what I'm talking about from the era? No, people know like, okay, he a fish, he been there. Now the Maxima, the square Nissan Maxima, it had the best spoiler kit out of all of them. They made the spoiler kit on the Maxima come down long in the front and had a grill in the kit. So the Maxima spoiler kit came all the way down and the side and the back. And the back was, it made it look like a what? If you go online and go to 80s and show some of the cars that was hooked up, I'm sure you'll find one. All the rich street people had them, right? This where you get your Rich and Alpo, your Boy George, your Supreme Team, and all of them. Like they would have, these would be side cars, the Maximas, right? Now, the Maxima kit. So when it was time, I was like, I wanted a kit on my Mercedes, this one on the screen, right? My 500. I'm like, I want the Maxima kit. So there was this shop in Brooklyn on Atlantic Avenue called Spoilers Are Us. Unique, remember this story. Shout out to Panama from Brooklyn. This is a Brooklyn story as well. Shout out to BK in the building. This is Brooklyn during the crack era. For those who want to think we was outside, listen clearly. We driving in this big 500 SEL during the crack era in Brooklyn getting the spoiler kit. And y'all know the stuff I used to wear. All right, y'all know the chains, the jewels, the wells I used to wear, all the heavy. I done showed it enough. I ain't gonna do all this every time. I need to do a new intro where they can see. I'll be like, that intro was me during the crack era, all that stuff. All right, we was outside. So, all right, this ain't got this car in some suburbs and we hiding somewhere. Unique was with us when we was in Brooklyn, taking my car to Panama. Spoilers Are Us on Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn. For those who from Brooklyn, you from the crack era, you know what I'm talking about. If you was getting money, if you wasn't getting no money, you ain't have no car, no Maxima putting a kit on it, no Jetta, no Saab, no BMWs, no Benzes putting the kits on it, then you probably don't know about Spoilers Are Us. You probably don't know about Funds Attire Shop, right? All right. Anyway, those are receipts for those who know. All right. So now we take the Benzo to my people Panama and Brooklyn on Atlantic Avenue. Spoilers Are Us. So I pull in now. Panama. These Panamanian Dominicans during the crack era. You know what I mean? They running their own projects and all that. You know what I mean? They got shops and stuff like that, right? So Panama, you know, we was rocking with Panama. Unique, remember, we made a whole song for Spoilers Are Us. We made a commercial for the shop, right? All right. So Panama, that was my boy. We rock with Panama. So I pull the Benzo in and we like, yo, Panama. He like, yo, what's up? Because he had already laced some of my other cars before. All right. So now he's like, I was wondering when you was going to bring this Benz in. What you want? I said, I need the kit. We getting the kit on it. He said, oh, I got the perfect kit for that. He said, they get the new Mercedes kit for it. So he gave me the book. So Panama opened the book and I'm like, he's like, that's the new one. I'm like, I don't like that, Panama. I'm like, what you mean, Poppy? I'm like, because Mercedes, they made their kits clean. Because, you know, Mercedes is classy. So their spoiler kits, they wasn't going to make nothing gaudy. But guys, I was gaudy. Gaudy was my middle name at this time. Just the crack era. Y'all see everything I wore was gaudy. These big, if my chain is this big on my neck, if the width on my chain is this wide and hanging, and I got 2 and 3 on, and I got rings to on each finger all the way up, and that's nothing but gaudy with big fit MCM and Fendi and Gaudy is my middle name. I ain't looking for clean. I'm looking for I'm looking for turn your head, so Panama like what? That's the best. I mean, the old kits. I'm like, nah. So he said. So I started looking through the book, and I see the Maxima, and I'm like, yo, Panama, come here. He like, what? You found one? I'm like, yeah. He said, that's the Maxima. I said, I want that kit. He said, that's the Maxima. I said, but that's the hottest kit. Look at that thing. That's a monster. I said, imagine this. Come on, Panama. Imagine this. Imagine the front of that kit on this Benz where it dropped down, all the way down. Then they got the grill, and then they got the fogs, the double fogs, and it comes to the side. I was like, yo, that would be crazy. Nobody has that. Yo, everybody be like, what is that coming up the street? I said, and then you go meet a big Benz grill with the big joint sign in it, painted all, all dark silver, or dark gray, because mine was dark gray. Look black at night, charcoal gray. So I'm like, so he like, that would be crazy, Papa. I'm like, can you do it? He was like, the only way I can do that, I would have to break the kit because the Maxima is this big and your Mercedes is this big. I said, oh, I didn't think about that. I said, so you can't do it? He said, Panama can do anything. Who you, like, Panama, like, who you talking to? Like, Panama, like, somebody must have been told you wrong. My name is Panama. I can do anything, right? And you're a black Panamanian, right? This is my first time finding out that Panama had black people. I didn't know that, right? Because Panama looked like me, but he speaks Spanish. He's Panamanian. I didn't know blacks was in Panama. And he like, yeah, black, Panama, black, right? So I'm like, but they speak Spanish, they're Hispanic, right? So Panama was like, yeah, Zayala, ya Panama. Like somebody must have been told Unc wrong, right? Like my name is Panama, right? So I'm like, okay. So he said, but this is what I got to do. He said, so I'm gonna order the Maxima kit. Once it comes, I'm gonna have to take the kit and I'm gonna cut it in half down the middle, rip the kit in half. He said, then I gotta fit the kit on your car. I have to start this side and put the kit around your car, right? To make it so it'll fit. But then it's going to have a big space in between. He said, so what I'm going to do, he said, I'm going to take something called gorilla hair. And Unique, remember this. You remember this. He said, there's something called gorilla hair. For those who are auto body people, y'all know what I'm talking about. But this is the early 90s. This is 93 or something like that. 1993, right? So he said after that, he's going to take gorilla hair, and this gorilla hair is this putty, and he's going to make the kit, the gorilla hair, he'll paste and make it hardens and it becomes a plastic. So he's going to fill in the middle and make the rest of the kit on his own, the part that's empty from him cutting it. And I'm like, what? He like, yeah, spoilerology tech. I said, okay, Panama. He said, yeah, watch. Now, I guess it's like a challenge for him, right? So I'm like, Panama, you up for the challenge? He said, oh yeah, I'm gonna. Shout out to Cynthia White, Cynthia Whitfield in the building. Shout out to Ralph Mann in the building. Love you, Ralph. Shout out to Ralph Mann in the building. You heard Scully I talk about your nephew, Ralph, in that song I played at the beginning of the channel. So if you rewind, I don't know if you be here from the beginning, but that song I play at the beginning, I talk about Scully, your nephew. All right, that's his nephew, an A+ little brother. Ralph is A+ his uncle. Shout out to Ralph and Hope too. Shout out to you and your wife. All right, so Panama, he was open because he like what Zayala said, if this don't work, he better use Gorilla Glue. I know that's right. So he's like, because guys, those shops, okay, for those who follow these stories from the 90s and the crack era, like when they show Rich and AZZ, y'all remember the movie Paid in Full that Dame Dash put out with Cameron and them? Y'all remember the scene with all the cars? and the kits, the wide body kits, spoiler kits and all that, when those shops do your car, it's like a what's the name for them? You know, it's their artwork. So they're proud of it and they take pictures and, you know, it brings more customers. Shalom, Pissy Lola, y'all blessed. All right. Shout out to Mia Mac in the building. All right. Yeah, Unique said Panama was cool as it's HELL King. I know Panama was our boy. Right. So so Panama was open because he like, this is going to be crazy. Right. He like, when I finish this, yeah, everybody going to want, like he's doing. So what he said was, he was like, this is going to be the first big body Benz with the Maxima kit, because everybody loved the Maxima kit. Shout out to Saquon in the building, right? So I'm like, okay, let's go, Panama. So then he's like, all right. He said, I'll hit you up. I'll let you know when the kit come in. So about 3 days later, he let us know the kit came. Bang. So we go there and everything. We go to drop the car off. So we like, all right. So we there, right? So we like, we want to see. I'm like, Panama, I want to see. We want to see. So he like, it's going to take a while. So we spent time. So we went, bought some weed in Brooklyn. We up there, we chilling in the shop with Panama. That's Unique token. We was just chilling with him and his workers, his boys and everything. So we up there chilling. They working on the bins, cutting the kit and doing that. We watched them put the Gorilla Glue and do all that crazy stuff, right? It was like, wow, they actually made the kit. So let me fast forward. Long story short, he put the Maxima front kit on the bins. And then I put the regular side kit, and I wasn't trying to put the back of it. That would be looking too crazy and gaudy. Put the regular side kit and the regular back. But the front had the Nissan Maxima, the 88, 89, I think 90. That's that square one, that front kit. If y'all look online, y'all be able to see it. It was crazy. So anyway, just want to say that. So now, I go back to the Puerto Rico, to the shop, Poppy, in Hempstead, Strong Island, South Franklin. Poppy, like, so we drive up to the shop and the car is outside. The hood is down and the Benz is outside. So I gave you a description because when you pull up from the side, it had chrome down the side and it had the big letters BENZ. Gordy is all outdoors. Gordy is hate as hell. Gordy as HELL. That's why I said Gordy is my middle name. It had big, you might as well have big Benz down the side. It had Benz and big black letters, BENZ, down the side on the chrome thing at the bottom, rocker panel with the two-tone kit. So the bottom part of the kit was lighter gray, like a silver, and then the whole car was charcoal gray. So it made the kit like it was dope with the deep dish hammer rims, right? Crazy. And it had bins down the side, right? So we pull up and all you can see is it shining and bins and the big chrome rim shining. I'm like, whoa, my baby outside. So we pull up to the shop, Poppy inside. So we walk up, Poppy like, I told you I fix it. I'm like, my car fixed, Poppy. You trust me? You trust me? I prove to you. I fix. Car fix. I'm like, all right, Poppy. He said, keys in the car. So I go in the car and I started. Smooth as buttermilk. Smooth. My baby purring. And it's a strong engine, so it got a little muscle to it. Ben's got big engines, the 500s, big engines. So I'm like, okay, I hit the gas. I'm like, Poppy. So I can say, I tell you. I'm like, yes, Poppy, right? His wife came up, she gave me a hug. She said, he fixed. I'm like, thank you, mama, thank you. He like, oh my goodness, this car drive me crazy. I don't know. I don't work on no more. Poppy said, I don't work on no more of those. No. I don't work on no more. I'm like, you should have told me, Poppy, this is European. This wasn't made in America. This is made in Germany. He's like, oh, pain in the butt. So I said, okay. So now the Benz is good, right? We got our baby back. We ain't have it in almost a month. Poppy had my car for like a month, right? So now we got the Benz back. So Unique might remember this. He might have been in the car. So it's about a whole week later. We driving around in the Benz and everything. So I remember we was coming from Unique House in Lakeview. I don't know if Unique was in the car with me. Unique, I don't know if he was in the car with me. He's over on Facebook, guys. Unique, I don't know if he was in the car with me. Let me put so they can see it at home. That's Unique right there. He said Poppy was done. All right. So I don't know if Unique was in the car with me. I don't know if Saquon was with me, because Saquon be with us too. This Saquon right here. Saquon's part of the Nasty Four too. Y'all learn about him later when I tell some of the Nasty Four stories that he in it. All right. So I don't know. Unique said, yeah, I was. So we were leaving Unique House, and we drive. And when you leave Unique House in Lakeview, you have to go over these train tracks, because we got to go to get on the highway to go to Hempstead, right? So we got to the part, we driving the Benz. That Benz was beautiful, guys. So we in the big 500, and we all crazy. We just having fun. We was just living life. So we driving, and we got to the train track. And soon as we got to go up to the train track, the car cut off. And I'm like, and we up at the train track, and the car cut off. And we like, hold on, what just happened? Right? Because all the lights cut on, the music. We're like, hold on. I'm like, the car cut off. So try to start it, and it's turn it back. It's trying to start. And it won't start. And I'm like, and we sitting on the train track, literally on the train track. We're like, and the car won't start. So I'm like, oh, come on, bro. Now, first of all, guys, when you're in the car like this, there's no such thing as the car not starting. That's the old days when you're in the bucket, hoopties, American cars or whatever. You don't drive a car like this and somebody looking at you and you doing that's the opposite of gaudy. That is horrible. You look real crazy. People look at it, because guys, when you stuck in the street, when you stuck in the street and cars drive past, everybody look at you like your car broke down. Y'all know that feeling. Everybody had a car breakdown, right? I am not the only one, right? I done had plenty buckets in my days. I done had plenty American cars, hoopties, everything, right? So yeah, you a whole movie when you be stopped at the light, and all the people at the light, and you out the car, and you just feel embarrassed, right? You be sitting there, oh my goodness, hey, you on Broad Street, you on Broadway when your car break down, everybody looking at you driving past like, oh, I'm glad it wasn't me. You even got people walking past, they be looking at you like, for real, you got people walking looking at you like, oh, sucks. That sucks for you, right? So here we are. Now we got the most gaudiest Benz in the world. It got Benz in big letters written down the side. It got the Nissan Maxima kit. It got every kits, and we stuck on the train tracks. So people was driving past, people looking like, I'm like, I cannot believe. So we lift the hood up. And so Unique and I'm like, yo, Rob. He like, we on the train. We on the train tracks. Look, hold on. Let me put this up. Unique like, yo, Rob, you forget we on the train tracks. Right? So Unique said that was crazy. I think we was on the train tracks and had to push it and we was flat. Unique like, because I'm pissed and I'm not thinking, right? I'm mad, right? So I lift the hood up. I'm not even thinking I'm on the train. I'm crazy, right? I'm out my mind anyway, right? Crack ever had us all crazy, right? I'm crazy anyway. So I got the hood up, you know what I mean? And this, shout out to Kev, my big brother Kev. He said, I'm with you tonight, bro. All right, Kev, I'm gonna put you to sleep with this story tonight, Kev. So I got the hood up, right? And now this part of the story is right before the buck. This story, this part I'm telling y'all, the reason why I'm telling y'all this right now, this is before the LL Cool J record deal and I got locked up and got chased with Buck. This is before, but the reason why I'm telling you this guy has relevance to tonight. All right. So I got the hood up, right? And because I'm pissed. So I pushed the hood up because Poppy just had my car for a month, right? So I got the hood up. I'm looking, trying to. So Unique like, yo, Ra. I'm like, what? He like, we on the train tracks, Ra. I'm like, what? He like, Ra. I'm like, man, come to the front. Because I'm pissed, you know what I mean? Because he in the back. He back there, he said, he walk up. He like, Ra. I'm like, yeah. I'm looking. we on the train tracks, Ra. So I said, and I look, and I'm like, oh, what? I didn't even realize, I forget, like, I didn't even pay attention. I look, I'm like, oh, crap. I'm like, you right. I'm like, you right. Like, we need to get the car off the train tracks, Ra. I'm like, yeah, I think you're right. So we put the hood down, right? And we got in the car, and I put it in neutral. So Unique wrote, he said, look, let me put this back up there. So Unique said, that was crazy. I think we was on the train tracks and I had to push it. We was fly. Now we all dressed, right? So now, you know, it's bad enough, guys, when you get stuck when your car break down and everybody looking at you in traffic. But when your car is this gaudy as this Benz was, and we look crazy, we look like the rappers. We look like Rappers Delight or somebody. Like I said, NWA. We look like superstar. Everywhere we go, we dressing all crazy, right? We all Unique. You think I dress loud? Unique louder than me, right? I might have on all red. Unique I have on purple and yellow, but it'd be fly, right? Like bright. Like we crazy, right? We dress like we are, like our personality, right? So now we out this car. Now it looked crazy that all these dudes, it's about 3 or 4, there's always a bunch of us, about 3 or 4 of us in the car. I forget who else was there. Now we got to push this Benz, and we pushing the Benz. Now the train tracks, it's like you go up like a little hill, and then you on the train tracks, and then you go down a little hill. So when we push the car, we got to push the car down. So we get, and this Benz is heavy. Y'all see this car? This is the 90s. This car is this is German. This is when they made cars out of metal. This ain't that fiberglass stuff. So these cars were heavy. This big Benz is heavy. You ain't pushing that by yourself. You're gonna take 3, 4 of y'all to push it. So yeah, the cross color days. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know, we used to dress all type of. Oh, Unique said it was me, you, and Dial X. Okay, so it was me, him, and Dial X. All right. So he said, yeah, you know, you dress all colorful, everything bright and everything, right? So we pushed the car. We started pushing the car, right? Because you gotta push because it's so heavy. Now we started pushing it, and then I don't know, we ain't thinking, I'm mad. We pushing the car, and all of a sudden we forget that it's on the hill. So we start pushing the car, and all of a sudden we're trying to get it off the tracks. But as soon as we get it off the tracks, the car just started taking off because it was on a hill. And it just started taking off because it's in neutral for us to push it. And now it took all of us in the front. You're right, because it was only 3 of us to push it. So nobody's in the. So we pushed it, and then the car. You know how you push a car, and all of a sudden it just started leaving our hands. You know what I mean? You pushing it, we like, and all of a sudden it just started leaving. We like, and the car started taking off. Like, and now I gotta run. I'm running to catch the car. I gotta catch up to the car. The car is going down the hill. This big Mercedes with the door open, it's going backwards down the hill. And there's cars because there's a light. So when it's a light right there. Once it get down the bottom of the hill, it's a light right there. It's not even that long of a distance. It's short. And the car is going backwards, and there's cars that are parked at that light waiting to go. And the car is going, and it's just starting to turn, and it's headed towards those cars. And I'm like, now I'm running, trying to catch the car. So I run, I grab the door, I run, I catch, and I run. Now I got to jump in the car. I jump in the car, finally get in the car. I get in the car. Now I got to try to hit the brake. And the car is almost to hit these cars. And and I catch it and I hit it and it stops. And I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Oh man, this car about to smash into these people's cars, right? And they don't know because they just sitting at the stoplight. They have no idea that a car is coming to hit them from behind because they facing this way, they facing the stoplight. So we got the car now. So we get the car. Now we pull to the side and it won't start. and it won't start. So now I'm stuck. It's a I got a little gnat on my wall. I'm like, oh, is that a little spider? That's a little spider. He running fast too. You lucky I can't get you, buddy. Little spider up there running up my wall. All right. So he Woodfield Road and Eagle Avenue. Facts. That's where it's at, that corner. Unique said Wood and Lakeview, Long Island, Strong Island. So so now it won't start. So now we gotta call a tow truck. We gotta get the truck or the car back to Unique house. So now it ruined all our plans because we always going somewhere. Now we screwed. You know what I mean? We screwed. We gonna miss wherever we was going. The Benz is stuck again. He done had it for a month. Now I'm like, man, Poppy ain't getting this car back again. That's why I was like, okay, you know what? Poppy ain't getting this car back again. All right, I ain't giving it back to him again. So yeah, Spider better run for his life. All right, I don't like killing stuff, but you don't belong in here. I don't know whose you are. All right, so anyway, so we get the car, we get it to Unique's house, we get a tow truck. Tow truck finally come. Now that's a whole nother embarrassing thing. You know what's embarrassing? Is that now the car, because where it's at on Woodfield Road, it's 2 lanes, but there's no place to park. So any car that turns that corner, it's gonna have to go around you. And the traffic that's coming this way gotta wait and let it go around. So everybody's looking. And this corner is the busiest corner because everybody in Lakeview that comes to Lakeview come that way because you got to get off the parkway, the highway. You get off Southern State Parkway and everybody who come to Lakeview is coming down this little strip to go into Lake. So we are on Broadway and the car, there's nowhere to to put it to the side. That's it. So it's in the street. So any car that got to come out. So guys, for the whole time while we wait for the tow truck, traffic is backed up. Y'all have no idea. Traffic is backed up all the way up the street this way and all the way up Woodfield Road to the left that way. We got an hour-long traffic jam going both ways because it's this big, gaudy 500 Mercedes. So you get people that'll drive past, right? But they won't say it while we there because they know. We look crazy, right? They know better. Like, yeah, you'll hear him go past, get that raggedy Benz off the street, or you wasted your money, like after they gone though, you know, white people and stuff, right? Because they pissed, because they realize by the time, you know, people trying to come from work and all that, by the time they get up, because it's a light and the light turns green. Look, it's a light right here, so it's. We got traffic so jammed up that everybody who finally makes it up to where the car is pissed. They're PO'd because they realize this is what got the traffic jam. This $1 million Mercedes, right? Like, get that junk out the street, you know. But they won't say it while they at that light because it'll be a whole problem. I don't condone none of this, but I have kicked dents in people's doors before. That New Yorkers is no joke. New Yorkers are crazy, especially in the 90s. And they still crazy now, right? I definitely, when I'm talking about, you know how you talk junk to somebody, but then you get caught at the stoplight? Yeah. Guess what? Take this one. Boom! Like, I don't condone none of that. Don't do none of that. I'm just saying this was the trauma life this is the crazy stuff. You know, this stuff gets you time in jail. Don't do that. All right. I'm letting y'all know the mindset, right? Because sure enough, they would have had a problem, but they'd say it after they pull off. So anyway, so now I'm just giving you, so we standing out there and we look like we rap stars and it was just horrible. So finally the tow truck dude came. We got the car and he had a whole mess because he couldn't get to us because it's a traffic jam. We had to stop traffic. Me and Unique and them going Woodfield Road, stopping traffic. I'm over here by the train track, stopping the traffic so that the tow man could come get the car. And like it was that bad. Okay. So now the car, we get the tow truck man, we get it to Unique house. So Unique, he rented a house on Lakeview and they had a backyard. and not a backyard. Well, the back of his house, they had a backyard, but it was a house. It was a house that was renting out apartments. It's a big, I don't know, probably an old slave plantation house where it got like 30 rooms in this house. So Unique Moms had the downstairs apartment. The own door, I think it was like 2-bedroom and 1-bathroom apartment in this house. And they had other apartments in the house. So they had in the back, and Lakeview is a middle class, right? Nice neighborhood, right? Not projects, not the hood, right? So it was a nice neighborhood. So in his backyard, in the back of his house, there was a cul-de-sac. So the street behind his house was a cul-de-sac. So it was a circle. And they had nice houses, the people back there. That was the front of their house, his back. So we told you can't park. He had nowhere to park on the front of his house because he lived on Woodfield Road. It was a main strip. So we put this Benz on screen in the backyard. And we pushed it in and let it down. So now I had to get a ride. We had to call somebody, give us a ride, get me to Queens so I can get my other car, my hoopty or whatever. Cause I think at that time, at that time I had a couple of cars. I think I had like 5 cars at that time. This before the LL Cool J when I got locked up. That story. So we went and got another car. All right. Now the reason why I told that story is because the Benz was parked at Unique house in the backyard. And it wouldn't start. So because I had so many cars and I didn't have a mechanic to bring it to, we kind of left it there, right? But the big baby, right? Big pretty Benz, but I had a bunch of cars, right? So we kind of left it there. So I was gonna oh, thank you. Unique said I went and got the green car. I went and got the Mac Daddy car. Thank you, Unique. We went and got the Mac Daddy car. All right, the green car, the green and white one. The other one that I showed, the famous 98 from the 98 posse. So, so it was parked at Unique house. So I was like, I gotta find the right mechanic, right? A good German mechanic to fix it. So I wasn't in a rush or nothing, right? Because we was in the other whip. So this car was parked in Unique's yard. So then I got locked up for the LL Cool J story where we had the record deal and I ended up getting locked up. I ended up getting the 2 to 6. So the story with Buck. So I ended up doing like almost a year and some change trying to get the 2 to 6 lowered in the county jail. So while I was locked up, this car was in Unique's backyard getting tickets because there was no parking back there. And the city, I guess, of Lakeview, the town, whatever, they was putting tickets on the car. Tickets. But I'm in jail and I got the keys. And I don't have, y'all gonna learn later, I lost a lot of things because I didn't have a mother or nobody. Because if I had a mother or something, I would have just gave them the car. Because they was coming to get it. Like, if they keep putting tickets on your car, they're going to come and get it after a while. They're going to tow it away. I had the title was somewhere, the keys. I really couldn't talk to Unique because of my case. For those who know, when I'm locked up, I don't converse with my boys in the streets because that's how you get people caught up in jail. Like, I'm not the type. I'm not telling you come visit me. I'm not talking to you on the jack all the time because they record it and my people in the streets are still hustling. And I'm not going to get you jammed up. I'm not one of those. I do my bid and I handle mine. My boys, I do a relay. Only people who got access to me are people who ain't hustling, who ain't in the life, right? And that usually be just my girl, or that's really it. I don't really have, I didn't have no access, nobody like that. So this is back then. So there's no access to Unique to come do anything And so I remember Unique sending word while I was in jail. I guess it was coming through Pam, like, tell Rod they putting tickets on the car, what they want to do, what are you gonna do? And there was nothing I could do. I didn't have nobody. I had nothing to like. I was worried about doing my bid. I I lived a life that nothing meant nothing to me. Meaning these material things, I liked them, but they were just things. Um, like when real life, like me being locked up and them trying to give me all this time, all that material stuff, I don't care. I can get that's how, my mindset was I can get that again. Unique said, yes, Pam would give you my messages. My mindset was, man, don't worry about it. Whatever. 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 I get it again. That was just my mindset. That's the mindset of the children in the streets. And what I mean by that is be very careful of young people in the streets. Because young people, and yes, this is a book, Pensilola, y'all bless. Young people in the streets, guys, young people in the streets, they don't have the reality of tomorrow, of caring. Where someone older be like, are you crazy? Young people just be like, whatever. Like, I can get that again. Like, who cares? That's that young mentality. So, as y'all gonna see through these stories, I lost a lot of things. Shout out to Ty Fields in the building. Shout out to Ty in the building. Ty Fields. Ty, I know you see the story, that was another one. But Ty, you're gonna be doing the story with me, Ty, when I go back and I tell the story about, yeah, you gonna do a story with me, Ty. I'm hijacking you. You can just talk or something. I don't know. You ain't gotta show your face if you don't want to. All right, let me get with the story. So anyway, so I'm telling y'all because the Benz is they told it away. They impounded it. They took it. So this 500 SCL German Mercedes, they took it. And I guess whenever they put tickets on your car and impound it, I guess it goes to the city and they auction it off or something. So when I came home from jail with the Buck, when last week's story, when Buck chased me, that story, when I came home, right? Remember, that's when I first came home from jail from that bid and I went on the street in all black and Buck chased me. That story, the Benz was gone. So all I had was a hoopty. I had 5 cars when I left. The Benz got not repo, sorry, I owned it, impounded from them putting tickets on it. Because this is back then. I owned my cars because there was nobody's what you call that, finance. Ain't nobody financing. I was for the street. I ain't never have a job. So okay, I don't want to get that. I don't want y'all to get that twisted. We owned everything. All right, there wasn't finance like nowadays. People finance cars and renting cars. It wasn't like that in the 90s. We owned our cars straight out. We bought them cash, and we used to bring money. That's back in the day. We bring a big paper bag full of money and drop it on the dealer's desk. Like facts, you bring cash. It wasn't even no debit cards. This the crack ever. It wasn't no credit cards, debit cards. Everything was cash. You heard? All right. So now we cursed the tow driver about me and X. Unique said, word, I was out there and we cursed the tow driver out, me and X. So Unique, I remember he told Pam, sorry, that's the wrong one. That's Laria. Unique said, word, I was out there and we cursed the tow driver out, me and Darrell X. Wow. And then he put Treble. I don't know what that means. But anyway, that's a typo. So I remember you sent the word to Pam. She told me that he said, Rod, they towed the car. We cursed the tow driver out. We tried to get it, but he's calling the cops on us. I remember that. Yes. So I remember that story. All right. So anyway, I'm telling that because this the relevance. So when I came home, all I had was my hoopties. One, because the big 500 got impounded. The other ones, Pam was messing the cars up, like not changing the oil and not doing this one. She blew the engine in this one. This one, she didn't know what she was doing, and she messed the transmission up in this one. I'm like it was like I'm in there. Next thing you know, I'm like, how many cars we down to? She like 2. I'm like, Pam, it was 5 cars. I'm not. Now the Benz is my fault, but by the time I came home, it was 1. And that was a Park Ave, and it was dogged out. I don't know, they wasn't taking it to the car wash, the kids. Pam was in survival mode. What I mean by that, Pam was like, listen, I don't care about all that flashy stuff you into, all that gaudy stuff. I got to make sure that we got this rent paid for in Queens. I got these 2 kids, and I got to take care of you in jail, and they trying to send you up, right? You going to jail for 4 years, because we was preparing to do 4 years out of the 2 to 6. So Pam, like, I don't worry about no car wash. I ain't worried about looking pretty. I ain't worried about. She was in survival mode. So when I got when the Judge Maxton gave me the second chance and I got out, Pam picked me up. The Park Ave looked like you know how a Buick Park Avenue, they was nice with the big plush seats. It was like a 98. It looked like Park Avenue in New York City is a very rich block. What's a bad block? It looked like what's that called? I can't think of a block in Harlem with a name, not a number. What's that called? I can't think of it. Anyway, it looked like a block in the hood. Martin Luther King. You know how Park Ave is a nice neighborhood name. Martin Luther King, you know that's the hood. I left when I left, it was a Park Avenue. When she came to pick me up at the jail, she came up in a Martin Luther King. I swear, I came out the jail, I said, what the hell? Smoke coming out the back of the tailpipe. The tint on the windows is peeling because the kids was etching the things off the. I said, the paint from the sun and never washing it. You know, sun bakes the paint, fading, because it was like a champagne color. Champagne, like a burgundy pinkish champagne. Yeah, it was 106. She picked me up in 116th in Harlem. I'm like, I said, what in the, yeah, Pam was a trooper. Unique said Pam was a survival mode. Shout out to Pam. Pam held me down. Pam was trooper. That's raw dog. That's the ride or die. That's me and my itch. That's the ride or die. Bonnie and Clyde. Shout out to Pam for holding me down. Facts. Pam was no joke. All right? Real talk. So, Pam pull up. Listen, guys, smoke coming out the back. The springs on the car must have gave out, so the car is sitting down. You know, the car was it was a bucket. It was a beautiful Park Avenue when I left. It came back, a Martin Luther King Drive, 116th Street in Harlem. Yo, it came back. I said, what in the... I came out the jail, and you know, people are outside, and they looking, and she pull up, and smoke coming out. Bah, 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 bah. You know, it's making it up. Bah, 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 bah. I'm like, oh my goodness. And Pam get out, the kids come out, Daddy! And all the people, so when you come out of jail, you got a bag with your stuff in it, right? So people waiting for people to pick them up, they look at me like, dang, that's what I'm like, oh man. So anyway, I don't care, I'm free, I'm out of jail, right? So she come up, give me a hug, the kids come running up. So, all right, so we get in, I look at the car, I'm like, what in the, so I open the door, and you know when you open the door, you hear, gang up, you know when your car door make noise, like, blank. I'm like, damn, bro. So I get in. You know when you get in the car, you try to close the door and it don't close because they go like bunk, and you're like, dang, they're like, close it harder. You know those cars when you gotta, you know buckets when you gotta push the car and someone gotta get outside and push it close. Like you're like, Paul. I'm like, damn, dude, boom. She's like, no, you got to pull it harder, really hard. So I pull it, boom. I'm like, dang, bro. So I get in the car. It's food. It's a hot mess. I'm looking at it, I'm like, but they all happy, right? Now I'm happy to be home. But guys, y'all heard the stories. You know the life. You know how I live, right? So I'm like, now, guys, listen, this is the reality. I lost everything. She had already told me in jail we down to one car. But I thought I was coming home to my Park Avenue. You hear me? So we down to one car. But I'm like, okay, I got a Park Avenue. It's all good. I'm good. I throw some little rims on it, throw some little, until I get my stuff together. We ain't looking crazy outside. You know what I mean? Till I came out that jail, we was looking crazy outside, Pincy Lola. I was like, Pam ain't care. Pam was in survival mode. Pam fly and all that. Pam did not care. Boy, you home, get your butt in this bucket and let's go. Pam was like, I don't care what you talking about. Because at first, I went around the car. I'm like, she's like, get in the car, Rashawn. I'm like, but Pam, what did you do? I don't care. Get your butt in this car and let's go. I'm taking you to Queens. We got to hurry up before they change their mind. This is Pam mindset. Because she was in the court with me. I was trying to get a 1 1/3 to 3. This judge said, you time served. Time served. I didn't even know what he said. I said, what in the world? I know he didn't just say, like, I'm going home. They started coming behind me, taking the cuffs off. I said, what the hell? And he's like, yes, 5 years, intensive supervision. I'm like, oh my God. I turn around, Pam started crying. She's like, hallelujah. Hallelujah. We ain't even religious. We ain't go to church or none of that. Pam like to have the Holy Ghost. She crying and everything. She like, he going. I'm like, I'm home. What the hell? I didn't even know what to say. I was sitting there like, so the judge started giving all these stipulations, and the lawyers over there like, you did it. You did it. I can't believe you did it. Like, the judge, me and the lawyers trying to give me a 1 1/3 to 3. I didn't got myself time served with 5 years intensive super. I'm like, I'm shocked. Right? Lawyer's like, oh my goodness, you did it. Pam crying. I'm sitting there like, so the judge is saying all this stuff. You got to do this. You got to report this. I'm sitting there like, I'm going home. Home? I'm like, no way, home? Like, I'm free. I wanted to just cry. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I'm going home. Can I hug you, Yana? Like, can I hug you, please? Let me turn my volume down a little bit because I know I'm gonna get loud in this story. I don't want to peak too much. All right, so I'm right. So anyway, so now my thing's spinning. All right, so now shout out to Q Dog. Q Dog said Pam was the realest since high school. Shout out to Q Dog in the building. All right, so hold on. There you Q Dog. He said Pam was the realest since high school. So now I come out, Q, and the bucket. So we get in the bucket. Now we driving. Now this thing is making loud noise. We get to the stoplight and smoke, black smoke. Y'all know those doggone hoopties. Black smoke is coming out the tailpipe. You know those cars that you smoke up the people in the car behind you, where they like, oh my goodness, rolling their windows up, right? So people pull on the side of you, looking at y'all. Luckily, we got black tints. It's really dark tints because that was my hustle car, right? I always keep dark tints. But the tint all ripped up because the kids, I'm like, what you let the kids take a spoon and just, see, like, well, that's Rashawn. The little Viking. Rashawn was horrible. Remember him as a baby, throwing the bottle and stuff against the wall? Him. He's psycho, right? So Lil Ryan, you can't stop him. So she's like, that's Lil Rashawn. You know we can't stop him. I'm like, I look back there. He looking at me like, oh, you can't stop me. I'm like, boy, I'll stop you. I swear, I'll break your whole finger off. What did you let him do? She said, that's just him. He just take anything and just start ripping the tint off the doggone window. Right? She's like, we can't stop Rashawn. I said, well, I'm going to stop him. Daddy home now. Right? So anyway, we at the light, I'm like, dang, man. So we get home. So, we finally get home to Queens. House still there. So in my mind, guys, I'm like, I got, like, that's why I went back to hustling. Because I'm like, okay, I got to change this. Right? We could barely making it. Like, we really messed up. right? You know, we barely surviving, you know? And I'm like, my girl riding around in a hoopty, my kids, smoke coming out. That's, you know, I'm Rashawn. You know what I mean? That's how I live. I'm like, I got a reputation. People can't, shout out to Marquise Mitchell in the build over on Facebook. People can't see me looking crazy like this. I'm like, man, people. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? I got to go back. So remember, I went back on the block. Okay. That's when I got chased by Buck. All right. So now I gave y'all the foundation of the Mercedes is gone. Now I went and now I got down to one bucket. So then I started hustling with the story from last week of Buck when he chased me. So after that, I had to regroup. So I came back on the block the next day, no bike, walking, regular clothes, and me and Stink, Flippin', and LL, and Soup Bone, and all LL boys, you know what I mean? Now we back, you know, I'm out there. They was doing their thing, but everybody know me. They know I had the reputation when I start to do my thing, I'm going to the top. Like, you know, some of those people who got the mentality that everything they do it big. That's me, right? So, you know, they've been out there doing their thing, but everybody know that's around. They're like, all right, Ra, all right, we about to rock with Ra. Because you give Ra a minute, you give him a minute, this whole thing gonna be huge. We have a whole block. Everybody, we have money for everybody. You give Ra a minute, you be raining dollar bills down. Facts. Everybody know that. Ty Fields know, Ty know that. All right, we'll get to all the other stories and other stuff. All right, let me not digress. So now we out there. So I was building myself up, right? But I got to do it a different way. So I started to get my money, start to get money again, right? Get a little money again, right? So now we out there, and let me see how I'm gonna do this one. All right, so I because hold on, give me 1 second. Starting to when I bought the that one, and then ISP. ISP. All right. So I'm doing my thing, and I always like, man, I need a decent whip for me and me and Pam and the family when we going out. You know what I mean? We go out, we driving in this bucket, smoking. Oh, that's where I was going. Sorry. So I started to get my bag together, and so that's when I went and I was like, I'm about to buy a little hoopty car. And I used to get these little Hyundai two-door things. The door used to open up, ding, 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 ding. In the other story, I used to have a blue one, and I bought a silver one. This is when I bought this silver one. I told this story already. This is the story where the old man tried to shoot me on Farmers Boulevard and cut my thumb off when he tried to stab me when I had little Rashawn in the mechanic shop. That story when I took my little Hyundai Sonata, that brand new 5-speed, beautiful car, right? I was going to hook it up and put these stick-out wheels on it. Because Patsy on the Heights, we had these little stick-out wheels. Remember, Unique, I had it on my little gold car with the stick-out wheels. I was going to hook it up. So I bought the brand new joint. And then I took it to get it inspected, get an inspection sticker. In New York, you need an inspection sticker. And the old man on Farmers Boulevard, Farmers and Linden, he tried to rob me and tried to charge me hundreds of dollars. And then he tried to stab me and shoot me when I had little Ra in my hand. For that story. Yes, Pistol, you got to go back on the channel. Not the lives, it's the videos. I think that was the live. I don't remember. But it's one, I forgot what it's called. What it's called. But I'm gonna do these videos and make them have titles for them. But anyway, it's the one where that's the one where he cut my thumb off, right? When he's trying to stab me because I grabbed a knife and it cut my thumb off, right? So my thumb is hurting. It's hurting right now. It's actually literally right now it hurts, right? It's gonna hurt forever. So he cut my thumb off, and then that's when I went to Rikers Island with the one hand. That story, right? So that car. This is that time. So remember I told y'all, every story I tell, they're going to start to align, right? So y'all already know backstories, then all these pieces gonna come together. So when I bought that car, that was the first car I bought when I came home. And Pam loved, and I was like, this is your car. She was so happy because it was so pretty. Light silver, it was like brand new. I mean, spotless. And I was like, and you know I'm gonna hook it up. She was so happy. I'm putting a system in it, right? So then I took it, me and Lil Rashon, when he was a baby, to go get the inspection sticker, and that's when that man tried to shoot me and all that. And I ended up in jail. And remember, I ran through all the yards with Little Ra, and then Bourne took me to the hospital, Mary Immaculate in Jamaica, Queens, and the cops arrested me. The man was there and said, that's him. And I was end up in Rikers Island with that. All right, so now that story, this is that time. So that car, when the man did that to me, he kept my car because I ran with Lil Ra, and then Bourne took me to the hospital because my thumb was cut off, and then they ended up locking me up. So the car was in the case. They was trying to give me a jail time for this assault, even though the man tried to shoot me and stab me. I had to get a lawyer, and the car was taken. So now at that time I got one hand. Listen clearly, one hand, because my thumb was cut off, so I had a big mitt over my hand for a long time. And I got a new charge in Queens. They're trying to give me time. So I got this Jewish lawyer in Queens, in Kew Gardens, Queens. So now I'm going to Queens court and stuff, right? So now I'm fighting a new charge in Queens for this man that tried to kill me with my son in my hand, right? And they got my car. So now we back, and I still got no car. So now I'm hustling, doing my thing. After a while, the big bandage came off my hand or whatever. So I'm doing my thing. And so LL, Jamel Henderson, he was like, yo, Ra. He was like, Chief, his cousin, shout out to Chief Mays. He said, Chief wants you to know that he's selling Dow's car. Chief, big brother named Dow Mays. Shout out to Dow Mays. Dow Mays was doing his thing at that time, and he did a lot of time for those crimes he committed. I did the time for my crimes I committed. He had got big. Like, you know how the streets let you know. So I heard even when I was in jail, they was like, yo, Dow doing his thing. And big mean you doing your thing. I don't want, well, he did his time for it. He got up to the kilos levels. You know what I mean? All right. A drug, what rapper Nas said, a drug dealer destiny is reaching the key. Everybody looking for some. So not every level, everybody make it to that level. It ain't nothing to promote. This will get you life in prison. Dow did a lot of time in jail for this. I got 25 life messing around with this. But not everybody in those streets make it to this level where you're picking up a bunch of kilos. That's a kingpin level. Not everybody makes it there. They can front all they want, but they don't. All right. Now, so it'd be a few who make it there, and you can see by their lifestyle. So I had heard in jail, and when I came home, they said Dow was doing his thing somewhere, and I'm like, oh wow, that's what's up. He doing like that. They like, yeah, he doing it. Him and his cousin Rob too, right? So I'm like, okay, right? And I knew Dow from elementary. Right? And I knew Chief with his Parkside projects. This day one stuff. This Parkside, my projects stuff, So they was like, so Chief told LL, he was like, yo, Dow, the streets, Dow had got knocked. Dow had, I don't know where he was doing it, Baltimore or somewhere, I don't know a lot, but he had got locked up, and it was for big stuff. Like, so they trying to give him like 30 years and stuff like that. He ended up doing a lot of it too, right? So Dow had got knocked. And once you get arrested, that's why you don't want to sell no drugs, guys. The ending is not, yes, I had houses, 15 houses, nightclubs. I can drive any car. I had all the women and anything I could buy. Anything. You don't got no peace though. Yes, Shuggy. Yep, Aaron Cross, Shuggy. You don't have no peace though. All the time I was living that life, I never had peace. Now, when I was younger, I had crazy peace. What I mean by that is I was so crazy, I don't care. That's stupidity. That's not peace. That's stupidity. Yeah, Mia, that's crazy foolishness. But once you get a little older and you got kids and stuff, there's no peace that come with picking up kilos of cocaine. Let me explain to you. Because the number one thing, you got people coming at you from every angle. Number one, when you get to a level, if you ever get to a level, you're picking up kilos, when you go to buy it, listen clearly, you gotta buy it from somebody. Either that's gonna be a cartel, Mexican, Colombian, something. It's gonna be some type of Jamaica. It's gonna be some type of. So listen, when you dealing with that level of drugs, every time you go to re-up, you're risking your life because you never know when the connect itself is going to either, number one, set you up because now they didn't got in trouble with the police, the feds or something, and now they trying to set you up, a setup, or they're trying to set you up because now this time they're going to rob you for your money because you're coming up there with $50,000 cash, $100,000 cash, buying four birds. You understand? $50,000, give me 2 kilos, something like that. Listen, in those areas, they'll kill you for $1,000. They were killing you for coats. Your whole generation, they'll wipe up your whole generation for $20,000, $50,000. To put a hit on someone's head back then was only like $5,000 to get somebody bumped off. Right? I'm telling y'all because this ain't no life nobody needs to live. Only ways that I made it out the most high. And I end up getting 25 to life. Understand? I didn't make it out clean and lost everything too. But praise y'all, I still got my life. And that's why I'm dedicating my life this time to teach others, don't do this. This ain't nothing I'm promoting for you to do. I'm showing you the outcome was not good. It was bad, bro. Now listen clearly. When you're on that level, when you go to re-up, every time we would go to re-up, and it'd be different times. Sometimes we might be dealing with these people in Brooklyn. Sometimes we're dealing with the shower posse in the Bronx. Sometimes we're dealing with the Colombians in Harlem, up in 141st and Broadway, and all up in there, right? Sometime in Hell's Kitchen. Right? So every time you're dealing with with the Dominicans, right? Every time you're dealing with somebody, you're dealing with a different faction of psychopaths. Do you understand? And you never know when it's your time and then now I'm telling y'all, just you trying to re-up, and they know you coming, and they know you coming with $100,000, and this time they saying you ain't leaving. They taking your 100,000, you leaving with nothing. Or you're not leaving, period. Because when they're gonna take it, you're not leaving, period. You leaving in a body bag. You leaving in the trunk somewhere. This ain't no reality anybody wants to live. So you see, I'm glad nowadays it's not really glorified. They glorifying doing all that rapping, and they glorifying guns and gangs and stuff. Don't do that either. That stuff leads, man, all that stuff leads you to jail, dudes. You don't want this life. So anyway, this was my reality then. So not only is you got to worry about every time you go to re-up. That's why me and my man, I ain't gonna say his name, I used to say, we're gonna wait as long as like we're gonna buy as much as we can every time we go so that we don't have to go for another 6 months. I don't want to put, it's like the less I could put myself in that situation, because when we would go re-up, I used to carry 2 guns because I know at any time it could be now. Okay, so now depending on where you go, you also got this group called TNT, Tactical Narcotics Team, that started from the crack era, TNT in New York City. It became like a gang of bad, corrupt police who got the okay to be corrupt because of what the Supreme Team when they killed Edward Byrne and that whole fat cat and the Supreme Team. Y'all know the movie from the Supreme Team and all that. Those movies that was on Showtime and all that. This stuff, real life stuff. So you got TNT who coming. So first of all, if we go into Harlem or we go into the Bronx, you got to go into this neighborhood with $50,000, $100,000, $30,000, whatever. Then you got to go in. You got people that'll kill you for that. Then when you come out, you got a bunch of kilos. All right. So now you gotta worry about your hood where you live and people knowing that you on this level. So you got stick-up kids that'll be trying to take it from you. So you need cameras on your house. You need to watch the way you go home. I mean, you need to tell your kids they can't have nobody know where you live at. You never have peace. It's insane. Then you got to worry about the local police catching you. Because now we got to drive from Harlem or Brooklyn or the Bronx all the way to Long Island or to Queens, because I was living in Queens and he got to go to Long Island. And with all these drugs, kilos in the car. This life it is the worst thing in the world, guys. They make it look good. Like you might see me during that time getting out the big bins with all that, but it ain't good, bro. It's only good to the psychopaths who don't care, who just kill or keep. Then they end up dying or getting caught and getting life in prison. And those are the ones you see in court looking all crazy, saying F you to the judge, F the whole courtroom. And they give them 75 years in prison. And those the dudes in there raping dudes and living that life in there. That's why, another reason why you don't want to do this and go to jail. Because everybody ain't built for that. At the beginning of this live, I said I was training my mind to become psychopathic when I was because I was going up for the 25 to life. I was training my mind to be a killer because I know I'm gonna have to, because somebody's gonna try me, because I was only 6'1", maybe 189, 90 pounds. I wasn't even as big as I am now. Somebody gonna try me sooner or later. I got that energy. People be jealous for no reason. I can't never just fly under the radar. Training myself for the environment I'm going into. You don't want that. Now, LL said, yo, Chief want to holler at you. So I said, all right. So he called the house phone, Aunt Kissy, on LL house, the Hendersons. So I get on the phone and Chief like, yo, Rah, my brother Dal, I said, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, bro. I heard he got all that time. He like, yeah. He said, but he got this car. He bought Big H old BMW. So Big H was a legend in our hood. Y'all learn, I'm going to do a story on him, right? A dark legend in our hood. These are dark street legends. I was a dark legend, not known good, all right? Shout out to him. Now, not that he was a bad person, but we was living a dark life, doing dark stuff, criminal stuff, all right? So y'all learn who he is later. So he's like, my brother, he's locked up, and he said he got Big H old BMW. I'm like, the burgundy one? He like, yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, he said, but he said, my brother, he hooked it up, right? He did, he did even more. He did. I said, okay. He said, yeah. He said, he's selling it because when you get locked up, guys, you sell everything because you got to take care of your family home and you got to pay lawyers, right? That's why I said this life ain't worth it. It all goes to lawyer fees and taking care of your family, and then you do 40 years in prison, and none of it is worth it, right? So I was like, oh, okay. So he said, yeah. I said, so, he said, you interested? I said, yeah. Now I was already saving my money, all right? Because now Pam, okay, I forgot this part. After the guy cut my hand off, the old man, and that case, when he took my car, I was hustling more, and I bought a van. I bought an Astro van. Unique, remember this Astro van. For those who remember me in the Astro van, I know LL, everybody remember the Astro van. A Chevy Astro van. So this Jamaican dude across the street from that shop where the old man cut my hand off, it was a Jamaican dude named Vivian. This is Farmers Boulevard. This is Jamaica, Queens, Farmers and Linden. So right on Farmers and Linden, it was a mechanic shop. Vivian, the Jamaican, was up there. So these are my people. This is Queens. I'm living in Queens. So Vivian, he knew about the thing with the old man, with the thing. And he was like, yo, man, why you didn't bring it to me? I'm like, Vivian, you be having too many people. Because I went to bring it to Vivian to get the inspection. But Vivian got 30 people waiting. I'm like, Vivian, man, you get too many. He said, man, you see what happened to you, man. You fucking killed the old man tried to kill you, man. You know, I'm like, Vivian, so he like, hey, man, he had a Unique said we went everywhere in that van. I know, right? Remember the van? And we used to load that van up. It'd be 50 of us in a Chevy Astro van pulling up to a club. That's the nasty NIKKUHS. That we became nasty for, became nasty niggas. That we won't get there. Nick Cause. The NIKKUHS means for natural intelligence can conquer universal hate. I know, we know how we play on words. NIKKUHS. So y'all gonna learn that, right? Yeah, that Astro van was dope. We had a van now. Oh, you thought it was a bunch of us when we was in our car. Now we got enough, we could fit 20 people in the van. We pulling up 30 deep at the club now. Open the side of the door, man. Sheesh, smoke come out. You know Cheech and Chong's movie? You open the side of that van door and smoke come out. That's the first thing come out. A whole cloud of smoke come out. Then you see about 30 people jumping out. The Parkside. We all over Brooklyn, Queens, anywhere club, any party. We coming 30 deep in the Astro van. You heard? All right. So Vivian was like, hey, man, I'm saying, he said, what you got? I said, man, he took my car. I said, but, I've been saving some money. I ain't got much. I think I only had like $1,500 or something, $1,600 saved up, something like that. He's like, hey, man, I got this van here, man. Here, I'm like, a van? I said, but this thing look clean. He said, it's nice, van. So I bought the van. I ain't never had a van in my life, right? But we in an Astro van, Chevy Astro van, right? I meant to find the Astro van and put the picture up for y'all. I meant to do it, but I was running late tonight. All right. I like to show receipts. So anyway, I bought the Astro van. So now we was rocking out with the Astro van. Everybody remember that. We was A-Web, straight up Parkside, right? Buddha Blab, Country. This before Country got his bid, before Demo got his bid, before all that. This was back in the days. Right? We used to be in that, what's the name who dead? Buffalino, Big Militant, all of them, RIP to my brothers who passed away. We used to be all in that Astro van. So anyway, I got the Astro van, whatever. So now, this is a little bit later, right? Probably like 4 or 5 months later, I done saved money. I'm out there, we doing our thing, I'm hustling to save money. So Chief said, Dow selling the Burgundy Beam, the H joint. So I'm like, all right. So he like, here, he lived on the Heights, right? Where Q Dog and them live. And Big AC, Aaron Cross live. So I go over there and I get there and I remember H had the Burgundy, it was famous, Burgundy 5 Series BMW. So I get there and we pull up and I see, hold on, present, share screen, window. I'm getting somewhere, guys. Give me a second. I see this pretty thing sitting out there. So I'm like, ooh, yo, dude. I pull up and it is shining. This picture do not do it no justice at all. And this is dark burgundy. That's the flash. The roof is that's the flash making it look like it's a pink. No, this is dark burgundy, and this is dark burgundy material over the spoiler. And this is gold snaps and gold hammers, dishes about 6 inches deep. Everything's paid in full. Ain't jacket about to cheat. Strong Island. You know I got it in my rhyme. You heard? Gold hammers. It's talking about this is a gold BMW sign. The full body kit all the way around. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, yo. I'm like, yo, Chief, I gotta have this. You know that Trading Places movie? We're back, Mortimer. Mortimer, we back. It's been a long journey since, because I've probably been home almost about a couple of months, not long, but it's been a long time since Pam pulled up to that jail and smoke coming out the back of that Park Avenue. We were riding around looking like the hoopties. We were running around looking like the hoopties in the, right? So I'm like, shout out to Corey Wilson. I'm like, Mortimer, we back. So I said, Chief, don't tell no how much. So Chief gave me the amount, but I was a little short. I said, Chief, listen, please, Chief. You day one, you Parkside, you from the projects. This is Hempstead legacy, this car right here anyway. From H had it, and then Dow had it, he hooked it up, and now I'm about to have it. I'm like, Chief, please, nobody. I said, here. I said, I'm going to go to Queens now. I got this amount, right? So we talking thousands, right? I said, but take that. I'm going to give you the rest. You know me. Just wait. I don't give a crap if I got to hustle day, night. And Chief said, it's yours, right? That's why I called L. That's why I told him. He said, I know Dow would rather have somebody like you to have it anyway. Talking about my character, my heart, too. So he like, I got you. It's yours. Don't even worry about it. I was like, oh my goodness. So I was like, all right. So I'm gonna go to Queens. I'm gonna get you the money. And I said, it can stay right here. He said, yeah, my mom's, she's, I tell her you're gonna get it. She's just gonna make it stay here until you pay it off. I said, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So he came, he said, let me go get the keys. So he go get the keys. And he started it up. First of all, he went and got the keys. Hold on. Not that one. First of all, my upbringing. It got to be my upbringing. Yep. He went and got the keys. And hold on. Give me 1 second. That way. Bang. Stop share. Present. Share screen. Window. Bang. Oh, not that one. Bang. Share. So he went and got the keys. And this pretty thing was on the inside. These are the seats. I know I showed it before. See that? That's suede and leather, burgundy and velvet on the doors. You see burgundy, velvet, a plush, crushed velvet roof, white dash, white steering wheel, all white and burgundy. Beautiful. I mean, outside, inside. I was like, Mortimer, we back. We is back. See, that's the color of the roof. See how shiny that is? And that's gold snaps go around. Sunroof, all that. So I get in the car, I open the door, and it's like, you smell the leather. He like, yeah, Sherm just did the interior not too long ago. He like, my brother ain't really get a chance to really flex in it too tough. He hooked it all up and then he ended up getting knocked. So I'm like, Oh my goodness. I get in there, the suede and the crushed velvet, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I start the car and it goes, zoom, and it's smooth, like you don't even hear nothing running. I was like, oh my goodness. So I end up buying the Beamer. So I end up buying it. So now I got my first, I'm back, Mortimer. From there, I got my first Gordy. I'm back Gordy. I got my first. So now when me and my girl, me and Pam get in the car, we get in the Beamer, we go out, my baby's in the back, we go to eat, go to restaurant, I get out, she get out. Now now I'm back. I'm back like the way I'm used to living. So now, all right. So now they gave me this ISP, intensive supervision program. But I live in Queens, so Long Island had to transfer me to Queens. And they gave me a drug program because I told the judge I was a crackhead. That's how he gave me a chance, right? That I was using the crack. Not just selling it, I was selling it, but I was using it too. So now they gave me a drug program. And they told me I had to report to the drug program. The drug program they gave me was called Daytop. It was on Jamaica Avenue, the shopping space, right on in the back where we park in the parking lot. Daytop, it's probably still there, right? So, and then the ISP, I don't know what this is. I'm thinking probation. So I go in to ISP. I got a report. They give me the address. I go to Queens. I pull up to the building. I go in. I tell them who I am. They're like, oh, you're here to see P.O. Rodriguez. All right. So I go up. I go wait that office. I sit there. All of a sudden, the door opens. Rashawn. I'm just say that, just not to say my last name, my government name. Rashawn. I look up. It's a lady, a Puerto Rican lady, kind of chubby a little bit, Rodriguez. So I'm like, oh, a lady. Immediately, I know that's not a good thing. You don't want a lady judge, parole officer, probation officer. 9 times out of 10, you don't. Because the women, they be in those fields, a lot of them have a chip on their shoulder because they have a lot to prove, right? They're trying to prove themselves sometimes. And sometimes they just do too much. Y'all know women. Come on. Y'all know me. I keep it real here. I don't sugarcoat. I ain't scared of no women. I ain't scared of you women. Y'all know I ain't scared of the niggas either. I ain't scared of no women. I ain't scared of no men. I ain't scared of nobody. Only fear I got is Yara of the Most High. And that's honor, respect, reverence, and love. That's not scared. That's not worry. That's the fear of Hasatan. That's dark. All right? So I ain't scared of no women. I keep it real with my women too. Y'all know women are the doers of too much. And you know doggone well that women are not always stable. What I mean by that is women have a time of the month that they could be out their mind. Anybody who really know women know what I'm talking about. Okay? I ain't scared of women. I know this world is scared. They be scared. You can't say that. I'ma say anything. Zion said most of the time we definitely do it too much. That's why the Most High said before your sin, you're going to have to submit to this man and all that. That's why the Most High put that law in place. Okay? You know, I don't play no games. I ain't play no games with nobody. All right? So the last thing you want is a judge parole officer, a probation officer that's a woman, because you catch her on a bad day, you're going to have a problem, because women have a lot of emotions. Okay? This is whole facts. So the minute I saw that woman, I said, oh, hell no. Oh no. This ain't good. This is not good. I don't care what it is. It ain't good. Can I get another pick? I need, please. And she came out there with that look, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I said, raise my hand. She said, come in the office. So I came in the office. She said, sit down. First of all, I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? That's what I want to say. First thing I want to say is, first of all, why are you talking to me like that? She's like, get in the office. Literally, get in the office. So I get up, I start walking. She said, sit down. Oh, this is going bad, right? I'm like, this is going really bad. So I'm like, now I'm new. I don't know what no ISP stuff is, right? So I'm in there. So she's like, sit down. So I said, okay. I sit down. I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? So then she says, she opened up my thing. So this case from Long Island? Oh, so what? You out there in Long Island? What'd she say? You out there in Long Island giving those people your criminal activity? It ain't enough for you here in Queens? I said, no, I'm originally from out there in Long Island. Oh, so why you ain't stay out there? Oh, so you come to Queens bringing your Long Island stuff. I'm like, oh my goodness. I literally want to say, excuse me, lady, could I come back when you feeling better? Like, what's wrong? What happened? Did you get smashed this morning or not? Like, what's happening, bro? Why you all uptight already? I don't even know you. Like 1 second, you already mad at me. What's going on? Right? So I'm like, I just sat there, right? So she looking at the paper. So she's like, all right, do you know where you do? Shout out to Brooklyn Red in the building. Flatbush in Brooklyn in the building. She said, do you know where you at? I said, yes, I'm at I guess you're my probation officer. She said, no, I'm your officer. She said, let me tell you something right now to start this off. Get probation out your mind. So I'm like, I said, okay, what does that mean? She said, yeah, I know, probation, right? Yeah, you got probation? You don't got probation. You are under intensive supervision. So I'm like, oh, yo, guys, I'm the type that I can talk to you, but at the same time, I'm thinking stuff, but it don't show on my face, right? I can multitask inside of myself, right? So I'll be talking to myself, thinking to myself while I'm looking at you and everything, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my, I'm like, oh my goodness, I am in trouble. I'm like, I'm screwed, bro. I'm sitting up there like, oh my goodness. Like, it might have been better in jail the way this grew. So she like, no, you are in intensive supervision. I am not your probation officer. I am your police officer. And my job is to make sure that society is protected from the likes of you. How dare you? What? Don't they have laws in America to stop people from talking to people this way? What? I'm quite sure you breaking some amendment rights here. I'm looking around like, I'm like, what? This lady is crazy. I'm like, so then she just looks back down. She started looking through the paper. She said, so you know how ISP works? So I said, I don't know what ISP is. She said, you in ISP. This is an intensive supervision program. You've been mandated to us. Your judge gave you over to us. You belong to us. You are not free. Let me explain that first. You're not free. You belong to us. So you're in this program. I'll be giving you here. She gave me a rule book and stuff. Here. I suggest you read that rule book because your freedom determines of what you do or don't do according to this rule book. Right? So I'm like, okay. She's like, okay, you will be monitored day in and day out. You will be secretly followed, monitored. You will be watched. We will come to your house at any time that we choose. You will not know that we are coming. You are mandated to be, you have a curfew, and you're mandated to be at home at this time when we come. If you can never leave the state of New York, you have to get permission. If you want to go, she basically said, if you want to poop, you need to ask us for permission. If you want to pee, you like, she basically, I'm sitting there listening to her like, mama, she just running down. We will be coming randomly to your house, be it 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 12 in the afternoon. You will get a job or you will be violated. You will. She just running through and I'm sitting there like, and she just going on. And so she finished. And she said, do you hear everything I said? I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, I object indeed. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, do you have any questions? I said, yes. You're going to be following me? Right? I'm like, now, guys, I'm rewinding because I had to report like the day that I came home. So I'm rewinding now, right? So I said, you're going to be following me? She said, yes, you will be followed. I said, what do you mean by follow? She was, you don't understand English? We will be following you. So when you look over your shoulder, we will be there. I'm like, is that legal? She said, didn't I just tell you you ain't free? You're not free. As far as I'm concerned, you're an inmate who should be locked up in prison. I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. Like, my goodness, bro. You got a big stick up your booty. What is the world, bro? I'm like, Miss Rodriguez, you need a hug. Dag, I said her name. Oh, sorry. Last time I didn't want to say her name. Whatever. It's been, I don't know, this is 90 something. This, I don't know. She probably, I don't know. Whatever. I mean, last time I started to talk about it, I said I wasn't going to say her name. But I just realized I just said her name. Whatever. Right? It's 30 years later. I don't know. What's this? Because this is like 90, now I'm talking, that's 93. 1993. I don't know how long, how many years. That's 2024, whatever. You know, doggone well, she ain't still working for that. But whatever. Bye, Rodriguez from the ISP. She probably a judge by now. Who knows, right? But whatever. I just said her name. So anyway, so I'm like, this woman got a cedar tree up her booty. I'm like, my goodness, bro, what they did to you? Right? So she tells all this stuff. So she says, and I see you reporting to daytime. So she said, you will piss every time you come see me. You will be tested every time you come see me. If you get kicked out of the drug program daytime, you will be going to prison. So guys, the thing over my head was, I got intensive supervision, but if I fail, if I
get violated, I get the max of my sentence. And I think he put something over it, like something like 10 years, something crazy. Something was at the end of that when he gave me, Judge Maxton, when he gave me this break from giving me the 2 to 6. He gave me this, and if I get violated from that, I get some like 10 years or something crazy was over my head, right? And so she was like, now, so she said all this, and she ended this thing. She literally ended this thing by looking me in my eyes and saying to me, your job is to follow all of my rules, follow all of the rules of the drug program, give urine and be clean, get a job, and don't have no contact with police. That's your job. She said, my job is to lock you back up in prison. I'm like, but now that's what I was thinking. I didn't say it. I'm thinking, I'm like, but I thought your job was to help me adapt back to society and make it in this, you know? What do you mean your job is to lock me back up in prison? I'm like, that's what I wanted to say, but I didn't say it. I knew better than that, so I'm thinking it, right? I'm like, your job is, that ain't, technically, that's not supposed to be your job. And then she said, welcome to ISP. She said, what'd she say? 9 out of 10 people never make it past this program. And you ain't either. Okay. She said, you got any other questions? I said, no, that's it. When do I report? You report, I think it's 5 days a week. 5 days a week. You report Monday to Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So we report here every day they open. I got to report 5 days a week, and I got to go to my drug program 5 days a week. So I'm like, so how do I get a job? Are you being smart with me? No, I'm just saying if I got to report here 5 days a week and go to the drug program, how in the world? She said, get a job, and then that's when that'll change. I'm like, okay, right? So that was it. So I get up and I walk out of there with this big book. I got a big pamphlet to read, and I leave. And that was my introduction to ISP and P.O. Rodriguez. So I go to the drug program, Daytop. I go in there and I meet them, and it was it's a drug program. It was my first time ever even knowing what a drug program is. Ever been. I go in and it's a bunch of people in there, and they got all these chairs, and they're in a circle. It's about 30 people in this big circle, and they're sitting down. So when I walk in, a black lady come, and I tell her who I am. She's like, oh, okay, you report and everything. So we walk in, and it's a room, and a big room though. And I look, and it's daytime, sun, and it's all lit up, and I can hear them talking, and they look, it's Hispanic people, black people, it's all, and I'm looking, and it's drug addicts. You could tell, people from jail now. I look, and they all talking. I'm like, what the? And we go into her office, and she tells me, have you ever been in a job? No, I don't know nothing and all that. So she gives me all the ropes. All right. And I'll discuss that, what happened with that another time. So anyway, let me get with this story. So I I meet that, everything. So now I'm going to the drug program. So she's like, we're going to you're going to get piss test every time you come, and all of that type of stuff. And you're mandated here. So if you get kicked out of here, you already know you go back to jail, right? All this is a mandation, right? So even though the judge let me come home, I'm not free at all. This is horrible. I'm like, I'm really not free. So I leave all that. I finally go home. Pam, she's waiting outside for both. We drive home. She's like, Dad, bro. I'm like, well, at least we home. She just happy I'm home, right? But I'm like, yeah. So now I'm reporting to them. Now, this story, I'm telling y'all, this is the whole Crazy Dave, Born, all of them. So I'm reporting. So that's when I was home. And then I'm like, all right, Pam, I tried to get a job. I kept trying and nobody would hire me, right? Now, as long as I was in the drug program, I didn't have to get a job. Okay, so this was the stipulation. So when I read the rule books, the handbook and all of that, as long as I was in the program, that was my mandate. That covers me. But once I complete the program, right? Once I get honorably discharged from the program, then I would have to get a job. But as long as I'm in the program, because I got to report every day. So she didn't tell me that. So remember when I said to her, well, how am I supposed to get a job if I got to report through and I got to report through? Because you can't get a job. But when I read the big rule book, then I'm like, oh, and then my counselor from the drug program, she said, no, you don't have to get a job as long as you're in this program. This is you're fulfilling that. But once you graduate this, if you graduate this, then we're going to help you get a job and all that. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's why I didn't, but I was trying to get some type of work. Okay. So now the lady said, you don't have to get a job, but if you get one, cool, good. They requested that we didn't because as a drug addict, they want you to really work the program. Because if they get a job, they can meet other people on the job smoking and drinking, like trigger points, right? Because they just treat me like I'm a crackhead. So I got to act like I was a crackhead. You get what I'm saying, guys? So I got to act like I was smoking crack. So I can't tell the counselors, I ain't never smoked crack. Like I was selling crack, right? I was, I can't say that. So I got to act like that's some more, talk about some humbling experience. No disrespect to my brothers and sisters who got caught up on any type of drugs, crack, cocaine, whatever, alcoholics, you know what I mean? I became addicted to weed before. That's the only thing I ever got really addicted to was marijuana. I got addicted to weed. And I addicted to, one time we used to put cocaine when I was really young in our blunts, sprinkle it on our weed and smoke it. And I got addicted to that back then, but I stopped that. So that's the only thing I never got alcoholic and I was smoking cigarettes one time, but I stopped that. So I'm not making myself like I'm better than nobody who got an addiction. I understand that. All right. But I just was never smoking crack. So now the humbling experience was I have to play to all these people that I was smoking crack. So now I got to be in these meetings too. Yeah, we used to call it a lace one. Corey, remember that? Lace blunt. Facts. Lace blunt. Anything else, we used to call it dry blunts. It was not cool to smoke dry blunts back in the 80s. Early 80s, back when it was like it was a poor man thing. You got a dry blunt, like that meant you was poor. Yeah, it's a Parkside thing. Facts. Corey, Corey was there. Lace one, right? So now I ain't promoting that. We was that stuff had us strung out on that stuff. You know what I mean? Now we was functioning, we was getting money, but we was on that. Y'all know Corey know what I'm talking about. So all of us was on that. Right? That was cool back then. You had to have money because each blunt cost you about $20. But you put 20 of cocaine in the blunt, you had to have money. By the time you get high on that, you've been spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Again, drug, we're not promoting none of that. All right. So now, say no to drugs. So I gotta talk in the drug program and I gotta convince, but I'm able to do it because I spent all my time with crackheads. The crackheads was my people. My block. I'm running like I know crack. I'm from the projects. I know crack. I can act like give me a movie role. I could be Pookie from New Jack City all day, every day. That's why we can play Pookie, because you go up in the hood, crackheads. You know, that's all we know. That's how our doggone people be crackheads and be our family members and stuff, right? So so anyway, so now so now I'm setting y'all up because I'm in the drug program and I'm in ISP with this Rodriguez lady, right? So now, fast forward a little. I'm going there every day. So now I'm trying to find a job, but I can't get a job. Nobody will hire me. So that's why I told Pam, I got to go back on the block. Pam like, what? How you going to do that? You looking over your shoulder every minute for some ISP because you thinking they follow you because I'm the head on swivel. Everywhere I'm going, I'm looking around. You know what I mean? At this time, I got the van, right? I'm fast forwarding a little bit, right? Every time I leave the house, I'm looking up the street. Sometimes I see a black car, I be seeing people in the rear view. I'm like, hold on, guys, I gotta blow my nose. I was a little sick. You know what I mean? My sickness is going away with. Give me 1 second. Sorry that took so long. I know that took I had to blow. I'm very thorough. I blow till it's all gone. I'd be like, "Whoa, whoa." Like I ain't the type. You hear them people, they blow their nose and they sniff up, they still got stuff. I don't do that. I keep blowing till it's all clean and clear. And then I wipe the insides like this. And then I do this right here. I take alcohol, facts. And then I put alcohol on tissue and I wipe my nose and wherever I was blowing, I take alcohol and wipe my fingers. That's just how I do. And all right. So anyway, thank you. I was holding it up there for a little while. Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little better. It's going away. Nah, praise the Most High. All right. So I'm watching everywhere I go. Right? I'm like a crackhead. Like I'm looking because she tell me they follow me, right? So now I fast forward. So now this is the story with Buck. Fast forward. I'm back hustling. Now the story with Buck will hit all different with Buck chasing me when I say that I'm on intensive supervision and here I'm out on Long Island and Buck is chasing me and I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot get caught. They gonna put me, if I get caught, for a new charge with all that crack I had in my pocket and the ISP stuff. Oh, and Judge Maxson said, they gonna give me life. Like I'm gonna get a lot of time, right? So when I was running for Buck, I was literally running for my life. Facts, they shooting at me and everything. I'm like, I don't care, I'm running for my life. Now, here we go. I'm in the van. So now I'm hustling after the Buck incident, right? I'm driving the van. I bought the BMW on the screen, so I'm fast forwarding. Now I'm playing. I'm reporting to P.O. Rodriguez and them, right? And they come into my house. All right. So they come to your house. Okay. Let me give you an example. I'm in the house. It's 4 a.m. Because now I gotta juggle the way I'm hustling, right? I gotta come home. I gotta it's not okay. Okay, let me explain this part just so y'all can have more understanding. By the time I start doing a lot of the other stuff that I really started doing in the streets, again, I had got the ISP, I had got to the second level of it, where it got easy, where I had to report once a week and all this other. I had a little more freedom, all right? But the first half, I couldn't, I would be home. I would make sure I'd be home by 2 a.m., right? And stuff like that, and random pop, because I never knew when they was gonna just come to the house. So I'm at home, it's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden, you hear you hear boo, 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 boo. And, the kids jumped up and Pam I'm like, what the? I'm like, it sound like, well, that's the police not. It sound like the police, right? or or somebody coming to kill you, one or the other, right? So it's like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, what in the? It's all late. Who knocks like that at 4 o'clock in the morning? You know what I mean? I'm like, so let me stop share. Let me present. Share screen, window. Where you at? There. Bang. Share screen. So it's like boom, 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 boom. So I'm like, who in the world is that? So I'm like, and then Pam jump up and then boom, 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 boom. I'm like, yo, bro, I don't got no gun. I'm like, so I go to the door. I go to the door. I'm like, hello? NYPD, open the damn door. I'm like, oh my. I'm like, oh my goodness. Right? So I'm like, hold on. I ain't got no clothes on. Open the damn door right now. I'm like, yo, open the door. It said, open the door. We're going to knock the door down right now. I'm like, okay. I got my box drawers on. I pay and go run back in the room. I open the door and I swear, this ain't even good enough. I open the door. First of all, before I opened the door, I looked at the little basement slit window we had. Slit window. I open the slit and all I see is lights. I'm like, the hell? Right? So I open the door and so remember, you open my door and you got to go down since they in the little down part and the steps to go up. And all I see is it looked like 30 of them in this little part of the door, all on the steps, with these big bulletproof vests, all black, like the TAC team, like SWAT, and they all got the big vests, and you see a big thing hanging around their neck. Yeah, back up, and they got guns out. So I'm like, and they say, are you Rashawn? They say my government name. I'm like, yes. They're like, we from ISP. I'm like, damn. Pardon my language. I'm like, who? That's all I can say. Really? I said, damn. Like, this is way overkill. I said, excuse me, I got kids in the car. He said, shut your mouth. We have the right to come in here and kick this door down, anything, whenever we want. I said, okay. So the other ones came in, right? And they come in. So it's like, Rodriguez, he's here. And I'm like, oh my goodness, bro. And then all of a sudden, she come down. And I'm like, okay. So she like, okay, I see you here and such. And they started running down this stuff. And I'm sitting there like, okay, so this is a visit? She says, yes, this was our first visit. I said, this was a PO visit? We're not probation officers. This is I'm like, y'all are really uptight at this ISP. They take this thing way too seriously. That's what they do when they make these organizations, right? Like TNT and stuff. They become like a gang. Like they become they wear that. Like, I'm like, y'all taking this way too serious. Y'all been watching way too many Rambo movies or something. I said, this is a visit? Yes. This is your first visit. You'll never know when we come in. We'll be back. And we're watching you. You're being followed. I said, oh my goodness. They like, all right, we got a right to look through the house. And I'm like, oh, but they said, I said, my girl is back there. Excuse me, ma'am, could you make sure you put clothes on? Who else is back there? Just my 2 children are back there. All right, we will be coming in the room, ma'am. Make sure you put on some clothes. I'm like, oh my goodness. They all in my little kitchen. First of all, this little apartment, it's a little basement, little cute, little small apartment. It's like 9,000 cops down there with all this black on, big helmets, the big thing. It looked like, I don't know, like a terrorist a threat or something. I'm sitting in there like, they're like, all right, you can put your hands down. I'm like, okay. So they all in my refrigerator. You think I'm lying? They open the refrigerator. They looking through the food. They opening the cabinets. They looking under the table. They moving stuff. They in my closet, moving the clothes. I said, excuse me, y'all got a right to search? We got a right to search every square inch of this premises. You belong to us. I'm just like, oh my goodness, bro. And they just went through, ransacked in my bathroom. They lifting up garbage cans. They got gloves that they put on going through the garbage. I'm just like, and they finish all that. Everything's clean. Everything clean. My kids up. They looking. Rashawn sticking with bottles sticking out his mouth looking like, what's Rashawn? He was a baby. That's the one y'all saw that story. He be throwing the bottles, always got his bottle sticking out his mouth, feet up. He like a gangster. He's standing there looking with his bottle sticking out his mouth like, what's going on here? I'm sitting there like, and they do all that. And then they like, everything's clean. So she's like, all right, you're going to report. I'll see you on Monday or whatever when you report. She's like, and she took and piss tested me too. I had to pee. The dude came in the bathroom with me, in my bathroom, in my house. I got to pee in front of him. Got my pee in the cup. All that. And then she said, all right. And then they start to leave. So as they start to leave, that's my first visit. So I'm like, man, because it's a residential neighborhood, right? They're lucky I ain't seen Crazy Dave out there on the right. So I go up the steps, right? So I go up and I go out the back door. All I see is lights. I said, what? So I turn the corner and my whole street is lit up like this. That's why I tried to find some type of picture. It's cop cars, lights, flash. It's literally 30-something cop cars parked this way, that way, this way. They lights flashing, all that. 30, they all standing out there all black. It looked like the doggone, I don't know. I said, I look, and my neighbors, people are out on their step looking like, it looked like people got murdered or something. If they only knew, and I had to tell them, I told Born and them, because Born people know, they tell Born Pops. Born Pops, he was smoking, but he was he functional, but he tell Born, I had to tell Born Pops told him that's just his probation, he was on intensive supervision. People are like, dang, that's your probation? Bro, what you do? They look like, what did he do? Like, that's what I'm saying. What did I do? My goodness. All right. So that was them just visiting me. Now, fast forward. That was my first visit. So now fast forward. I've been on it for a minute. So I made it past the first graduation. So now I don't got to see them till once a week, right? They still piss test me. But now, and I'm in the program. But now, because I'm on the street with the Nasty Four in the van, Unique will tell you, we was smoking weed 1,000,000 miles an hour. Yeah, that was the first visit, Zayala. So now I am smoking weed, but I'm getting piss tested by the drug program once a week, and I'm getting piss tested by ISP. So now what I would have to do is I learned they had this thing called Naturally Clean. Naturally Clean. It was a tea bag. They sold it in a health food store. It was a yellow box and it was called Naturally Clean. I learned it from the Jamaicans. They say, you need some Naturally Clean, man. You need Naturally Clean. So you go to a health food store, it costs like $20 for a little box of tea. And it's a big tea bag. Literally a tea bag. Big. So you take the big tea bag and you take a big pot of water. You have a gallon. This is how you clean, I ain't promoting this. This is just my life story. This is what happened to me. So you take the Naturally Clean and you boil this big tea bag in a gallon of water. Get a big pot, because you got to make it a gallon. So a gallon jug, I would fill this up. So you boil it, and it's tea. Tastes like tea and everything. Don't taste bad or nothing, right? So they make lemon, all that. And you boil it, and then I would pour it into this jug, because you got to drink the whole gallon. Now, Naturally Clean, once you started drinking it, when you get to about here, by the time you get to here, you're going to have to pee. It's a flush. It's a detox cleanser flush. They probably still sell it. It's a detox cleanser flush, right? Now, once you drink it to here, that's going to be the first time, like the first pee probably happened about 15 minutes after you start to drink it. You're going to have to pee. After you keep drinking, you're going to have to pee more and more and more. The instructions on the box say you need to urinate at least 4 times before you go take your piss test. And then it will be clean. No matter what drugs you took, it will be cleansed. You'll be clear. Now, the messed up part with it is, once you've pissed 4 times, your urine will be clean like water. Clear. Crystal clear. The justice system, knows that your urine ain't supposed to be just 100% clear like water. It will have a little yellow tint to it. So in the Naturally Clean box, they gave you instructions to take a golden seal. So you would take a little golden seal, and the golden seal was supposed to make your pee yellow while it's still clean. So this was a whole process rather than just stop smoking weed. It would have been smarter now thinking about it just to stop smoking weed, but I was stressed out and whatever. We smoking, we nasty, we riding around, they all smoke, I'm smoking. Now, okay, this one I had the van, because I'm telling the story right here. So every week I would have to get piss tests at this point from my drug program and piss tests from ISP, because go to the office. So every week I would have to drink my Naturally Clean, the whole gallon. So I would time it. Now, where I lived in St. Albans, Queens, I used to have to drive to Jamaica Avenue. Driving through the streets, going up Linden, up to Merrick Boulevard. I used to go up Farmers Boulevard, where my house, go up to Linden Boulevard, make a left on Linden Boulevard, drive that up to Merrick Boulevard, and take Merrick Boulevard all the way to Jamaica Avenue Shopping Center with a Coliseum Mall at. Anybody that know about Jamaica, Queens? That was my route. Now, when you drink the Naturally Clean, the first time you pee, after that, you're going to have to pee a lot. It's coming. And you got to keep drinking, because you need to drink like the whole gallon to make sure that, because every pee is peeing out your toxins, the weed and stuff. So it's on the box, you need to pee like 4 times before you take your first piss test. And you got to time the golden seal so it'll be yellow. So it's a whole thing. So now, this is the story. There's two stories. One story was, I didn't know this at this time, but I'm drinking my water, this naturally clean tea. I take the pot and I put it under the faucet. So I'm drinking faucet water, but I'm boiling it because I'm making the tea. So this one time I'm drinking the naturally clean, but it looks milky because I don't know that tap water, especially where I was living in the basement in Queens in that house, I'm drinking this old tap water. That's poison. That tap water is poison. And I'm drinking a whole gallon of it at one time. So I was drinking. Unique said, I remember when Eric drank that detox tea at my crib when you told him in Soup, don't drink tea. And I told him in Soup Bone, don't drink that tea, and Eric drank it. That's hilarious. So so this one time, guys, I swear this is crazy. I drunk all this naturally clean tea. So I'm in the house, and when I would drink it, all this tea is in your belly because you got to drink the whole gallon. So you're just gooping and gooping and gooping. And my stomach, you could feel it in your stomach, right, before you first piss. So I drunk all this naturally clean, and I'm timing it because I got to be at the PO's office at 5 p.m. So it's like 3 p.m., and I'm trying to drink it now because, you want to give it time to work. Then you want to give it time to piss. Then I got to drive to downtown. So I got to time everything. So it's like, whatever. I'm drinking it, and I'm in the house, and I walk around, and my stomach is like goop, 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 because your stomach be all big. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to feel dizzy. And I'm like, why am I feeling dizzy? And I'm starting to feel sick. And I'm like, bro, I feel sick, bro. So now I'm like, okay. So I took a piss. I took another piss. Now I'm like, bro, I'm feeling woozy, right? And I'm like, okay. Hot flashes and everything. So then I'm like, okay, it's time to go. So I go outside and I go to get in the van, and I walk into the van, and as I'm walking, I'm looking, and things start looking blurry. And I'm like, ooh, right? I'm like, what is wrong? I'm in hot sweats and stuff. I'm wiping myself. I'm like, okay. So I drink some more natural tea. I'm like, so I get in the van. So I start driving. So I'm driving. All of a sudden, I'm like, ooh. Stuff is like, thing is looking, it started looking like smoky. It's like I'm seeing mirages and stuff. So I'm driving. All of a sudden, you hear, bam, bam. I wake up. I'm in drift to the side of the road. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, whew. I'm like, oh my goodness. Now I'm not sleepy or nothing. I'm like, so I'm driving again. Next you know, bam, bam, bam. And I'm like, and I look, and it's like, yeah, like I took mushrooms. And I look, and I'm on this side of the street, and they blowing cars home. They're like, yo, pull over, you drunk? And I'm like, oh, dude. I'm like, yo, bro, chill, yo, snap out of it, bro. Like, what is wrong? So I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm hot, I'm sweating, I'm seeing things. Things is like, I'm seeing things go past, like visions. I'm like, what the hell? All of a sudden, I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, no, no. And I stopped the car. The van, I'm in the van. Actually, I stopped right on Merrick Boulevard. Now, Merrick Boulevard in Queens, it's the 2 lanes, but they go fast, right? And in New York, we drive crazy, right? So I stopped the car and I open the door, and I just start throwing up. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm throwing up and shush. Now, because I'm drinking like a whole gallon, when I throw up, it's coming out water like a funnel this big out my mouth. It looked crazy. It looked like The Exorcist, like, and just tons of water just because I'm in, and it's just shh, and it's just everywhere, and it's splashing. I'm just like, "Whoa," and I'm like, oh my goodness. So it's splashed everywhere. So then I so I'm now I'm on Merrick Boulevard, and it's like 4:30 p.m. So it's like prime time after work, and Queens, Merrick Boulevard is busy. And it's the street that take you to Jamaica Avenue. You got I think the dollar vans was out then too. You got the dollar vans taking people in the bus and everything, right? So I'm out my van. In the van, you got a step. So the van doors open. And so I'm growing up, and it's so much coming out. And then I fall. I got lightheaded. I passed out. I fall. And so when I fall, I realize I'm going towards the throw up. So I threw myself. I pushed off from the step in the van. I pushed off so I could miss the throw up. And I hit the divider. It's a divider on Merrick Boulevard, and that's oncoming traffic. If I would have went over the divider, I would have got killed because a car would have hit me doing like 50 miles an hour. So I fell onto the divider. And when I fell onto the divider, I passed out. So I hit the divider and I was out. All I remember, I woke up and cars is blowing, there's cars behind me. I look, I'm like, I don't even know where I'm at. So I look and I'm like, and everything is just spinning and woozy. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't even know where I'm at. And I look, I'm like, cars are like, you okay? People coming up, and I'm like, I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, oh man. I look, and then all of a sudden, here it comes. I'm like, oh my, and blah, 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 blah. It just was emptying all the stuff. And I'm like, I throw up everything, and then people stopped, people came up, everybody standing back, like, you okay? I said, I don't know, man. You might have food poisoning. So I'm like, so I finish, right? People gave me stuff. I wiped myself off. I'm like, okay. So then they're like, all right, we're going to stop the traffic so you could pull over. So I'm like, I need to hurry up for the police. They're like, you need to pull over for the police come. You're not drunk. I said, no, I'm not drunk. I said, I'm just drinking, this tea. And then this lady, she said, what are you drinking? I said, well, ma'am, I'm actually just drinking this detox tea. I'm drinking a detox tea. I'm detoxing. She said, how much you drink? I said, a Jamaican lady, I said, I drink the whole bottle. She said, you drunk the whole gallon? I said, yeah, you're supposed to drink the whole gallon of detox. And she said, where did you get the water? I said, from my house. She said, you bought the water from the store? I said, no. She said, you got the water from the tap? I said, yeah. She said, you drank a whole gallon of tap water at one time from the tap? I said, yeah. She said, you got water poisoning from that. That tap water is filthy. She said, you're lucky. She said, you probably got old pipes. You live in a new house? I said, no, it's an old house. She said, yeah, but she talked Jamaican. Yeah, man. Yeah, son. That'll kill you, man. No more, man. You drink bottled water, man. Bottled water, man. No more you drink from that tap water, man. Don't ever drink that poison. Lead in the New York pipes. It's lead in the water, in the system, in the pipe system. Old New York City pipes. Lead water, lead. You have lead poisoning, man. It kill you, man. You see vision? You see blurry? I said, yeah. She said, yeah, man. I'm like, so she let me know. So I get in the van. I clean myself up. I go stop at a Burger King, go in their bathroom, clean myself up, get myself together. I have to piss again because I still got water in me. I piss. My piss is, everything straight. So I go and I take the piss test and I pass. All right, that was one story. The next story. I'm in the van again. I'm coming from Jamaica Avenue. I'm not sure if I was coming from the drug program or just coming from in Queens, something. So I'm in the van and I'm driving. And I see these cops. Like no, not cops. I see a car, right? Because I'm from the streets. So I'm looking and I see them look up, look at me. 2 black dudes. So I looked at them. Now I'm in the van. I got tents, but it's light. It's not heavy because I don't want to get pulled over. So I look and they look at me. 2 dudes in the car at the light. I'm on Merrick Boulevard. And I look at them because on the van, you're up kind of high. I look down at them. I'm like, okay. So we pull off the light. So next thing I know, I see them. I'm looking because I always watch my surroundings. I see them further back. So I said, okay, let me do something. So I make another turn going towards Southside Queens, right? So I turn, I go past the building with Ja Rule, the rapper. He from that building, right? I turn past that building and I go up going towards South Jamaica Queens, Southside. And I watch. Later I see them turn. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, these some stick-up kids or something, right? So then I go and I go on Sufton Boulevard. So I go up on Sufton, heading towards in South Jamaica, and I go up to where these stores in Delhi where people are at. So I pull the van up there, bang, like I'm getting out to go in the store. So I park the van, I jump out, and I go to the deli where there's dudes out there on the block, out the store and everything. So I get out and I watch, and then I see that car with them 2 dudes in drive past, and I see them look, and they kept going. And I watched them go up the street. So I went in the store, and then I opened the door and I looked, and I watched the car go further up the street and didn't go off into the distance. So I'm like, all right. So I went in the store, and the dude in the store, he like, what's good? What's good? Somebody following you? I'm like, yeah, man, I don't know who that is. I said, it might be some stick-up kids or something, I don't know. And then I'm in the store, and then the dude says, one of the dudes in the store says, yo, my dude, somebody looking in your van. So I go run to the door and I look, and it's this black dude at my van looking in the van. And then I'm like, yo, and I turned around and he ran. I'm like, yo, and he ran around the corner and he took off. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? So then I walked to the corner and I looked and I seen a car pulling off. I'm like, all right. So I went and got in the van. So I pulled off. I'm like, all right. So I drove around trying to see if I could see someone follow me. I ain't see nobody. So I'm like, all right, I'm going home. So I headed home. So when I got home, I got to my block. I'm on Farmers, and my block is like right here. And as I'm driving, I'm getting to my block, and all of a sudden, I could see from my rear view a car running down on me. Woo! I'm like, what the? I'm like, and I see it's that same car with the 2 dudes in it. And I'm like, oh, shoot, they running down on me. And it's just flying behind me. So I speed off, right? I take off. And then they ran down. I'm trying to speed off. And then they were flying. They were already doing 100 and something. So they caught up to me. And so when they caught up to me, I could see them. The dude flashed the badge. He said, pull over. And I'm like, oh, shoot, that's the police. And I'm like, oh. So I'm like, and I look, and my street is right there. So I'm about to go past my street. So I look, and I'm like, and I just turn the van, and I hit my street. And when I hit my street, they couldn't turn that fast because they was on the outside. because Farmers Boulevard got 2 lanes. They was on the outside, and they went past. So I hit the van, and I tried to fly up where Crazy Dave came out the bushes. I tried to hit the gas fast enough because I was gonna park the car, park the van, take the keys out, and run in the house. Facts. I'm like, I don't know who you are, but I'm out of here. I ain't trying to get pulled. I don't know what police you. That's that. They've been following me. So when I got up to the bushes where Crazy Dave came running out and I made the house, I went and I parked the car and I put it, because the van got that do. I put it in park. And as soon as I put it in park, from the house, from where Crazy Dave house, a car, another car, cars. I'm like, oh, nah. I'm out the car. So I got up, I put it in park, I opened the door, here come the cars. I slammed the door, and I'm like in the middle of the street, and I'm about to try to run, and these cars come flying out. They freeze, they pulling guns out. I'm like, so I stop in the middle of the street. I'm in the middle of the street, like, freeze, mother effer, don't move. And I'm like, oh, and then here they come. Cars come from this way. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm standing there like this. All right, and they're like, don't move. So I'm standing there, I'm like, I'm in the middle of the street. Now here come Born Pops, because it's daytime. They coming out, the people outside. I'm like, I know they like this fool always got some beef with police. I know they probably like, we thought Crazy Dave was bad. Crazy Dave, he bring his beef be away. It be on Southside Jamaica. All my beef be on the block. They coming. I know they say, well, you brought more heat to this block than anybody. We thought at least Crazy Dave keep his mess off the block. So now I'm standing in the street and all the neighbors come out. So the neighbors come out. So I yell to Born Pops. I say, yo, Pops. Because everybody call him Pops. I said, yo, Pops. He out there eating cereal. He looking at me because he from the hood. He like, here you go again. Because he said it before to me. Born Pops, he's like, boy, you got, what's with you with these police, bro? I said, I don't know, man. He was like, you are like a movie when it comes. He said, literally, Born Pops, he said, we ain't never had no action. This street boring. Only action we got is Crazy Dave being loud, making noise. Don't nobody be doing nothing on this street. Everybody too scared to come start nothing, and we keep it quiet. But you are a TV show for the street. So he had already said that, right? So now, here I am in the middle of the street, guys, literally with my hands up, 9,000 cops. Literally, it's like 10 cars squeezed this way, 5 more squeezed this way, and they all got guns out, and I'm like this. And all the neighbors like, here we go again. So I look at Born Pops, and I say, hey, Pops. And he go like this. Yes? He eating the cereal. I said, could you go get Pam, please? He was like, yeah, I'm going to get her. So he started walking down off his steps to walk down the sidewalk. So now, yeah, even Crazy Dave be like, man, this is too much for me. You making my block hot, right? So I'm standing there in the middle of the street. Now they didn't draw down on me, right? They're like, freeze, put your knees on the ground. So I'm like, oh my goodness. So I go down on the knees. All right, put your hands behind your back. So I'm like, what are y'all doing, bro? Like, this is way too much. So I go down, I got my hand on the back, right? So they're like, keep your hands where you can see them or we will fire. We will fire. I'm like, okay, my hands are behind my back. So they come walking up with all the guns drawn. They come up like I'm Machine Gun Kelly or something. So they come up and so then they grab me and they put handcuffs, right? They got me cuffed. So then they're, all right, get up. So they stand me up. So I'm like, what are y'all doing, bro? I said, I'm driving a car. You can't, this is illegal. You can't give me a ticket. Like, this ain't how you give a person a driving ticket. What did I do? I didn't run a red light or a stop sign. And the dude said, this ISP. I said, oh my goodness. I wasn't even thinking of these ISP crap. I was not thinking of this. I'm sitting up here like, what is these? I'm thinking these black dudes are detectives. And while y'all running down to me like this, I ain't did nothing. I'm just driving. Y'all been following me all the way through Queens and all this stuff, all the way through, like, so, and then he's like, we ISP. And I'm like, oh, here we go. ISP. So it said, go get it. Go get it. I'm like, get what? So they go to the van. So they go to the van and they shining the light in there. And I'm like, ain't nothing in my van. What are y'all doing? They said, there it go. We see it. We got him. I said, got what? Y'all got what? Oh, hell no. Wait, I'm like, oh no, y'all ain't setting me up. I'm like, yo, Pops, come out here, Pops. They trying to set me up. Hurry up, go get. And then Pops and Pam come up. So they come up from the back. So Pam come out. What? Oh my goodness, what is going on? What did he do? What did he do? So I said, they try to set me up, Pam. They talking about I got something. I'm like, Pops, give me a lawyer, Pops. Watch him, Pops. Watch everything. Now, this is before we filmed on cell phones. This is before that. Nowadays, I've been like, go live, Pop. Now, if it was nowadays, I'd be like, go on Instagram live, record this whole thing. Right? This is before Instagram and all that, guys. We in the 90s, right? So I'm like, yo, Pops, watch everything, right? I'm like, watch him, Pops. He's like, I got you. I'm like, they set me up. They told me they got something. I said, when I was on Southside, I seen someone looking in my van. I said, they set me up. So I'm standing there. They like, give me the keys. Where the keys? So I said, they in my pocket. So they go in my pocket. They get the keys. They open the door. They like, we got him. They're like, we got you now. I said, got what? They said, you got a gun in there's a gun in the van. I said, a gun? Oh, no, the hell it ain't, because I don't even got a gun at this time. I purposely didn't get a gun because I didn't want to mess around and get caught out there. So all that time I was hustling, at that time, I didn't have a gun on the block. I didn't have a gun. I purposely did not get a gun this go around because I'm not getting caught with no gun. If I get caught with something, right? So anyway, so I'm like, I do not got a gun. I'm like, no, y'all set me up. They said, we got it. It's right here on the back. So the van had 3-row seats, right? So it got the front seat, it got a van seat, and then another row seat. So we be in there, nasty 4, we be in there 30 deep. Now, they like, it's in the back row seat. Now, I'm not looking back there. I don't know. I get in the van, right? I jump up in the van and I just drive. I ain't looking back there. I don't know what's back there. You know what I mean? Only time I get to look back there when I got to vacuum out the van or something. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, did somebody leave a gun in the van? Did one of my boys leave a gun back there? I'm like, but they would have told me, like, yo, wow, did you see my gun? You know what I mean? Bring me my, like, and I'm like, and I didn't remember, like, yesterday or, you know, nobody getting in and getting in the back. And they would have told me, I would have got a beep or something. Somebody said, yo, my gun is in your van or something. So I'm like, yo, man, whatever gun y'all talking about, y'all put that there. Y'all put that there. I ain't had no, I'm like, yo, Pops, I ain't had no gun, Pops. They lying, Pops. They lying, Pops. So he's like, all right, I'm listening, right? So, and then the cop tried to tell him back up. Pops ain't no joke. Pops like, man, who the hell you think you are? I'm going to stand right here. I ain't going no mother effing where. So Pop's giving him a beef, you know what I mean? And Pam over here, Pam over there arguing with these cops. Pop over here like, I ain't going no mother effing where. Oh yeah, I ain't scared of your gun. Shoot me. I ain't scared. I'm like, yeah, it's going down. I'm like, Pop, they lying. Oh, the block is on fire. The block is hot. I'm like, I know the lady who gave me, the Haitian lady who let me get the apartment, I know she like, what in the crazy? But she already know me because I'm really nice, really well-spoken, really respectful. So I talk to her all the time. So she know. So, I told her, she know my story. So I know she's like, what is wrong, boy? What is going on with you? So now I'm standing there and I'm like, Pop, it's chaos. Cops they arguing with Pops. So the other dude from the other house, he came down his steps. So he arguing with him because they pulling out their gun on Pops. And Pops like, y'all gonna have to shoot me. And people coming out, they holding down the block, Pam yelling, everybody, all the cops going on, everything. I'm yelling, like, they setting me up, everything going down. So they open the van. They open it up. They're like, we got it. He goes to the back seat. He like, it's chrome. It looks like a nickel-plated 45. And I'm like, ooh. Because I like guns. I'm like, ooh, a chrome nickel-plated 45. Ooh, wee. I wish I did have that. I'm like, y'all setting me up with a chrome nickel-plated 45? I'm going to jail for a long time. I'm like, but ooh, that sound pretty, right? I'm visualizing a chrome nickel-plated 45. I'm like, whoa. They like, it's a chrome nickel-plated 45. And then they say, a revolver. I'm like, a revolver? I'm thinking a chrome nickel-plated 45, crack, a big joint 4/5. They saying a big chrome nickel-plated 45 revolver. Boom, that's a big Clint Eastwood. I'm like, that's a big bang. I'm like, dang, a big old 45. That thing's so heavy. That thing like a brick. You knock everybody out with that. So I'm in my head, I'm visualizing the gun, right? So I'm like, a big 45. They said, yeah, it's a 45. It looked like a Colt 45, a Colt 45. So that's where they get the liquor from. Colt 45. First of all, the Colt is a horse, but a Colt 45 is a gun. It's a gun called a Colt 45. It's a chrome nickel-plated 45 handgun revolver, and it's a Colt 45. So it looks like a Colt 45 chrome revolver. So I'm like, who had a Colt 45 revolver, right? So they're like, we got it. So he goes and he grabs, and everybody looking. And I look at Pop, it ain't mine, Pop. Pop like, we're gonna have to get you a lawyer. I'm like, yeah, Pop, they setting me up. And he says, oh, hell no. And everybody, and he walks, because you got to go in the van. He walks back out the van and he pulls it up. And it's a big chrome 45 revolver. And I look, and me and Pam look at each other, and we both bust out laughing. We both look. I look at Pam, she look at me. I said, oh, hell, we both start laughing. And the cop said, hell no, damn it, what you? And he said, it's a toy. These fools then ran down on me for little Rashawn's, my little baby boy son, his gun. That little rod gun, he always shooting everywhere and busting, knocking against the window in the van and trying to scratch the tent on my doggone van. I'm like, Rashawn, I'm going to knock you right in your head. Put that gun down, boy. Stop pointing the gun at everybody. They try to lock me up. Yeah, got him. I said, that's Rashawn gun. Yo, they put the whole police, they had the whole ISP. They tried to kill me. They almost shot me and everything over this. This boy got it on the third row. I don't know what's back there. I don't know what Rashawn doing back there, because Rashawn, we get in the van, his little butt, he bad. First thing he do, he headed right to the back seat so he could be at the back window. So you know how you're in the van and you parked at a light, right? When you parked at a light, the car's behind you at the light, right? Stoplight, and a kid in the van going like this, that's Rashawn, because he bad. And I used to say, sit your butt down, Rashawn, get your butt to the second row, right? So he bad, he'll sneak back to third row. So he used to have that gun, and I used to tell, and he'd be pointing that gun at the people, and I said, I I like to beat the brakes off right sure. I'm like, boy, I'm gonna break that gun in half. Don't you ever point that gun at nobody, boy. What's wrong with you? So he would always just have the gun. So he stopped pointing it at people, but he took it everywhere he went. The gun was his best friend. He took that gun, no matter if he took that gun everywhere. So I remember he left it in the van and he was always complaining, but I forgot to always get it out of there. Because he's like, where my gun? Where my gun? We like, good. So Pam like, good, we can't find it. I said it's in the van. He probably left it in the van somewhere. So I didn't know how it been in that back seat. Now this what they did. They was following me and all that. And when I was in that store, they went and looked in my van and they must have saw that gun on the seat in the third row. So when I came out and everything, they took off. And then when I got in, I guess they called and did whatever it is they need to do or whatever it is they need to do. And then they posse'd up. You know what I mean? And so then when I took off, by the time I got to my house, they had all mounted up. They was coming to get me. So that's why when he came flying down on me, I'm like, okay. And then he told me pull over and I see my street. I'm like, man, I'm about to try to run in my house, right? I don't know what these cops pulling me over for. So by the time I turned, all them cop cars, so they had already called up the forces on me. You know what I mean? So I'm like, because so just so y'all know, during the crack era, they really were scared of guns. They really wanted guns. All right. So when he looked in my van and saw that, you would probably think, well, why wouldn't he try to nah, they were gonna wait because I could have a gun on me. You know what I mean? And people were shooting cops back then. They didn't know. It was the Wild Wild West during the crack era. All right. And Queens and the city, in the city, especially in New York City, they really was looking for guns. They were shook. It was going down all the time. So when he ran off, it's not, the reason why it's not entrapment is because I was on intensive supervision. I don't got no rights, right? Now, the cops only time they could arrest you if you got a gun in your car is if they just happen to walk past. And of course, they can use the system to lie. But if they could see no tents and they could just see it in the open, oh yeah, that's not entrapment. But they can't go and be trying to look through your tent and all that type of stuff. They can't do all that. But if it's in plain sight, they can definitely find out if you got a license for it or stuff like that. I don't know the laws or nothing like that because whatever. But yeah, but with me, Laria, ain't nothing entrapment for me. They can do anything they want to me. I'm theirs. So yeah, guys. So now they pissed. The dude who got the gun, he like, oh man. And the other dude like, are you sure it's a toy? And I said, that's my son's toy. And Pam like, thank you. Give me my son's toy. Give me my, and they're like, you sure? He's like, it's a toy, man. And they gave it to Pam. She's like, thank you. My son's looking for his gun. And I'm like, and they're like, take the cuffs off him. I'm like, oh, goodness. So they take the cuffs off me. So Born Pops is like, y'all did all this for a toy gun? How y'all feel now? Stupid. And the other one, now they arguing with Born Pops. And then the other dude from across the street is arguing, get out of here. That's our block. Get out of here. And they're like, and I'm just like, I'm like, so I'm like, well, am I free? I'm like, they're like, no, you okay. You free. I'm like, bro, I don't got no gun. Because it's ISP, so I know I got to see them again. So I'm like, bro, I ain't got no gun, man. I know y'all follow me, but I don't got a gun. So you ain't never going to find a gun. You don't got to worry about that. You're like, we're just doing our job. We'll be following you. I'm like, whatever, man. And then they went off. They get all in their cars, 9,000 cop cars, and they all go. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And then Born Pops come up like, boy, only you, bro. Like, I'm like, I know. And the people, everybody in their house, everybody look like, okay, it's all right. It's just nothing to see here. The whole ladies go back. All right. Justo said cats on the streets had the cops outgunned back there. Oh, facts. It was war dog too. And they wasn't scared to bust it either. It was not a game. So, yeah. So, oh, I'm definitely glad Rashawn had to play a gun. I wish he didn't have it in my car, period. But I was so happy to see that play gun lava. Yeah. When he pulled the gun up and I looked at it, I said, because I done yelled at Rashawn 9,000 times for that gun. I said, shout out to Ra. Shout out to Lucky Ra. Ra Napier. Shout out to Raheem Rayford in the building. Shout out Big Ra. Yo, Big Ra. Yo, Ra, when he pulled that gun out and I seen the handle, I know I done yelled at little Rashawn 1,000 times on that gun. I said, hold up. That's little Rashawn gun. And I looked at Pam and Sheila. We both just said, that gun? You don't know how much beef we done had over Rashawn with that gun. Because we wanted to break it. And I'm going to break it. I'm going to throw it away. And he have a fit because he loved the gun. But we would let him keep it because he loved it. You know, we just told him, stop pointing at people. And stop trying to shoot people. And stuff like that. You know. So when I seen them pull that gun up, I said, oh my goodness, bro. I am so glad that was that fake gun and not one of my boys left a gun in the back. You heard? Like, that's why I used to always say, when you get in my car, people know that. When we used to posse up in the car, the first thing I say, who's strapped? Who's strapped? If you strap, you tell me now, because that gun is yours. Do not. And depending on if you ain't official, you ain't getting in my car with a strap. And what I mean by the official is, Rod know this, everybody who talk tough ain't ready to take them consequences when it come. Everybody all gangster. Y'all know these kids are doing it now. They gang. And then when they get caught, what they turn into them, Rod? Snitch, right, Rod? They start singing. Everybody ain't built that. They talk all that tough stuff until it go down. When they start giving you those numbers, when they start talking 20, 30 years, all that goes out the window. This was my back during the crack era. I can have a decent judge to know who's official enough. If I think for one instance, man, you ain't getting in my car with the ratchet. You're going to have to leave that or you're going to have to ride with somebody else. Because I ain't taking a chance we get knocked off and now you ain't ready to do your bid. Nah, I don't live like that. When they gave me mine, I took a second of mine. You heard? And I could have set up plenty of people. I knew everybody. Please, my name is more important than my word is my bond. Like, come on, bro. We don't come from that. You heard? We know who's official and who's not. Yeah, Justo said everybody tough until they get bagged with that gun. Facts, everybody tough till he said they can't leave them girls in the street, shake them. Yeah, they start talking about, well, they was going to give me 20. Well, you was doing 20 years worth of crimes on the street. Like, that part I don't understand. That's why it ain't, guys, any time to be doing crimes, shout out to Sap in the building. Yo, Sap, what's good, Sap? Shout out to Jermaine Sapp. I ain't know Jackie was here too. Shout out to Jackie Pickett out there from Hempstead out in Baltimore. Be more in the building, right? So that was my thing. Everybody ain't ready to hold it down. They talk all that tough stuff, but when that judge, that's where the real. Another one is everybody ain't ready to hold you down in there. Like, what I mean by that is when you get co-defendants and you get caught, and I'm not promoting it, I'm just saying it so the youngsters know, just leave stuff alone. Because when you get caught, and as you got co-defendants, as long as nobody say nothing, as long as everybody hold it down, then they don't have nothing on you to stick. You actually make their job that much, like they literally, a lot of 9 times out of 10, all of y'all will get to go home. But yo, Ra, you already know. It don't never work like that, right? Somebody always. It's like if everybody just keep it 100. It wasn't mine. I don't know nothing. I ain't got nothing to say until a lawyer. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to say to nobody. You heard? Read me my Mirandas and get out of my face. That's it. I don't know nothing. Don't say nothing. I don't care. That's when they play he over here snitching. Well, if he's snitching, then it is what it is. I don't know nothing. But guess what the problem be? The person really do be over there snitching. Don't do no crime. It ain't worth it. The days of the old school, do your crime, you do your time, of not ratting, the honor of thieves, honor among thieves, where no matter what, till death, your name's sake and your honor is more important than even transgress. Like, I'm just not built from that cloth. Nowadays, everybody's built from that terry cloth, that thin paper towels. You're right, they built the paper towels now. Toilet, there you go. Stuff I'm blowing my nose with, this tissue. What's this? This is tissue with, listen to this, Ra. This is Puffs Plus. Yo, Ra, they built the Puffs Plus with lotion. Plus, yo, Ra, they built the Puffs Plus lotion. Y'all see that? That's what they built of. Puffs Plus lotion. I'm just saying, get a job. Do the right thing. As I tell these stories, you see, I can almost die almost every time I'm telling a story. All right? Almost every time. It's guns all in my face. I'm facing all this time. And like, what if one of my boys did leave a gun in that back seat? I would have been done. You see? And what am I going to do? That's it. One of my boys left in the back seat. It is what it is, right? Now here I am with my ISP. They probably would have gave me 20 years or something, and I'm out of here. So what I'm saying is, for the youth and the elders, because you got some elders still out there trying to be. Yo, Rod, you got some elders out there still thinking they thug thistle, trying to be gang. I'm like, bro, ain't you 50 years old? Like Jim Jones, the rapper, and out there talking about lobby boys. Him and Mano. Talking about they in the lobby, in the projects when they live in Jersey. Boy, Jim Jones, you got a mini mansion in Jersey talking about lobby boys, trying to sell that to the youth, but got these kids want to be lobby boys when you should be telling them don't be in nobody's lobby. Get a job, boys. Start your own business, boys. Invest in digital currency, boys. Start selling digital products, boys. I got that stuff coming for y'all anyway. Because this is a bull market. I promise you, I got it coming this week. Well, I'm going to start showing y'all the investment stuff. Because y'all can get this paper. These people making millions, millionaires made last night. These little white boys and stuff making this money. But y'all don't know how to navigate the digital currency space, but I do. Yeah. And I'm going to show y'all facts. This ain't just war stories. I'm writing my book, just so y'all know. But I'm also testifying. The scripture says others are saved by your testimony. Salvation is in the testimony, a testament. That's why this is actually called Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV. So I'm not saying this to be glorified. Who cares about that crap? My doggone street legacy is sealed and sealed away. You heard? That's why I got my boy Ra and others that come here. Ra wouldn't be here if I was some clown in the streets back then. He here because I'm his elder, and he like, okay, this, like me. He grew up, he seen me. I grew up, I seen them above me, right? Like H and them and Steve and them, and then they grew up and they seen, like, that's how you come up. And people grew up and look up to Ra. You see what I mean? It's like that. But guys, it's about Even when we were in the world and in our sin, it's still about having honor and respect. How you carry yourself. I rocks with Rock because how he carried himself, even when he was young. He was official, he was smooth, and I could tell he was real. You heard? Now I rocks with everybody, but you put people in different, I know who's who. All right. Always know who's who. Watch your circle. Watch everybody in your circle, outside your circle. Always assess everyone's temperament. Everybody ain't got to be Superman. Everybody ain't super thug. Everybody ain't super hardcore. Know that if somebody around you, listen clearly, act like he's super hardcore, act tough and all that, but you really know he really ain't really about that, be careful. Because if y'all get caught up in something, that's going to be the one that's going to fold. So make sure you know everybody around you. I'm saying that because this is a street channel, and the people are still out in the streets. Yes, Zayala, y'all. Judge them all by their actions, their fruit, and keep them in compartments. Know who not to let around your kids and your wife in your house. Know who to keep where. You keep people at certain arm's length. They got people I'm cool with and rock with that I would never let them know my house because I can't trust them that far. But they still cool. I can still rock out with you. They got another that I might not know where I live at because all his screws ain't there. And sometimes he could snap out, and then he might have to try to kill me. I might have to defend myself, try to kill him. But he's still my man. I still rock out with him. We out in the street, but there's always boundaries, certain levels to people. Always compartmentalize people. Everybody. This is for the regular people, not in the street as well. I do it in the ministry. I do it in this so-called awakening. I compartmentalize these people, these ministries, these like the camps. This to the Israelites. That's why I tell the Israel, dude, stop identifying with that Hebrew Israelite crap, because these wicked camp people out there, they're gonna get federal charges against them, and you're aligning with that, that's gonna come against you. That's just wisdom from the streets. I compartmentalize everything and everybody. Always did it. You heard? Facts. I know. I even knew in the streets who was the hothead. I'm talking about who will flip the switch and mess around and shoot everybody, kill everybody. Oh, you can't come with us here. Well, I can't come rock because you crazy. No, I didn't take you here because somebody do something wrong. I won't even be able to get to you and stop you. You've been shot 10 people, and now we running from the police, and I got a charge on me, and I ain't have nothing to do with it. You ain't going with me. Because you don't know how to act. You know where I leave them? Right at the projects. Oh, well, you won't take me. Well, no, you ain't going with me here. You can go with me. We can walk around the block. I hang with you. You hang with me on the block. Yeah, I ain't taking you off the block. Because you, not with me, you ain't get, because guys, it's making sure that you don't get yourself caught up in being at the wrong place at the wrong time, or being at the wrong place with the wrong people. Circumstances. You know how many people in prison have their life ended because of circumstances? Bad circumstances. Having the wrong people in your car. You got a hothead in your car. You don't even know he got a gun. He done told you he ain't got no gun. Next thing you know, some people come up. They get mad because you cut them off a little at the light, and they flick you the middle finger. And he looking like they done flick this fool the middle finger. Now he done like, oh, this mother, and he done pull out a gun. And you like, yo, you gotta, and he shoot and try to shoot the car, and it pull off, and they end up shooting somebody in the back seat. And you don't even know it. And in the back seat was a baby in the car seat. Y'all hear? Y'all hear? Now this fool done shot a baby in the car seat, and you didn't even know he had the gun. Cause he that temperamental. And now you going to jail And they trying to, y'all all over the damn doggone newspapers. Y'all done shot an innocent baby in broad daylight. You hear? It's that easy. Yeah, and I don't do conspiracy either. Because I learned that when I was doing my bid in 92, reading those books on conspiracy. Yeah, that changed my whole life when I found out those conspiracy charges. That's when I stopped. That's when I really went secret squirrel. I stopped being around. I stopped because they film and they catch you with somebody and they just pin you because you shook hands with them. You gave them a dap. You and they, oh my goodness. That's the reason for this channel. I ain't glorifying none of the life. I'm trying to save lives. Sharing the trauma, the things I went through, the mistakes I made that got me this life bid, and the Most High gave me a second chance. And I'm not dropping this second chance. I'm going to do everything I can to help as many people I can avoid that life. The graveyard and the prison system is the outcome. Get a job. Do what's right by the next person. If you get you a girl, don't be pumping no babies right away, brothers. You'll lose your life. They'll have you in child support jail. You'll be screwed. Wrap it up. Choke your little wee-wee if you got to. Don't be making no babies with these 304s. Get your life getting sold into the slavery, child support slavery beast system. Sisters, don't be out there getting in these crimes. Do what's right by the next person. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Another one down. Uncle Yahshua, 25 to Life Testimony TV. Shout out to Pincy Lola. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this story. I'll see y'all next week. Yo, Ra, I'm getting that joint together that we're going to do together. All right. Keep it functional. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. May y'all be blessed. Go forth. Be the light that you are. Be the light of the fire that you are in the Most High. Do right by the neighbor. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. All right? I love you all. Keep it functional. And remember, love the Most High. Remember, here you go. Love the Most High. Y'all. We are. Oh, see y'all tomorrow. We're doing the series, The Black Kings of Europe. We back at it again tomorrow. Tune in. Y'all need Facebook. I know y'all like the street stories. Y'all watch. Get that history too. I know the street stories is cool, but get the history too. We dropping that real history. Tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time, about 8:30 p.m. Mashiach Assembly Ministries, House of Yah, my other YouTube channel. All right. Remember, love the Most High, y'all, and I love y'all. All right. See y'all tomorrow, 8 p.m. We out.
This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha cause I like to tuck that choochie. All the time on the grind, getting that doochie. This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories every week.
Police are on the scene of a triple homicide on Long Island. It happened overnight at a home in Hempstead.
I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dog side, strong, the wrong guy. I think I'm supposed to